and it shows.
13, the ball's on the 39.
Welcome to Stanford Stadium in Stanford, California. I'm Mark Jones along with Tim Brandt and Martin Wyatt. The score so far, Stanford leads Colorado 7-0. The Cardinal took the opening drive, 10 plays, went 56 yards to punch it over on a touchdown, and that's where we stand right now. It's 2nd and 13 for Stanford. Jason Columbus is the quarterback. And he throws complete to Mike Cook.
Ozzie Granardo returned the opening kickoff 44 yards. Columbus was 4 for 5, and then as scripted, here's touchdown Tommy Vardell scoring to make it 7-0 Stanford. Now a banged up Stanford defense then stopped CU in 3 plays. 5 players who started the Washington game for Stanford did not start today because of injury, but Stanford scores quickly, then the defense holds, and here the Cardinal again with the football.
It was 3 and out for the Colorado offense on their first series of the ball game. 3rd and 4. Milburn with a gain of about 2 yards. Stanford comes into the ball game with a record of 0-2. They played 2 weeks ago in Arizona, led the game 17-0, only to lose 28-23.
Milburn is really special. In that first drive, he had 2 carries for 15 yards, 3 catches for another 13 yards.
Paul Stonehouse will punt now, and Darian Hagan is back deep for Colorado. A high kick, and Hagan takes it out of bounds at the 20-yard line. A 31-yard punt, nothing on the return. We'll be back.
For years, I never even thought about it. Guess I just didn't want to face things. Yeah, I've been there. But now, my parents, they need real help. It's gonna be tight. We'll just have to manage somehow.
I got this guy at Payne Weber. Put me in a mutual fund for my parents. Same time he set up my kid's college fund.
That long ago? How do you know about your parents back then?
He asked.
Imagine a rent-a-car company that offers special delivery right to your door. That's Enterprise.
Here, let me help you.
Enterprise, a special rent-a-car company that gives you special delivery.
Oil, the lifeblood of your engine. So the most vital organ is your oil filter. That's why Fram introduces Extra Guard. New glass fiber paper stops more dirt than any other filter. New Fram Extra Guard, the best protection ever.
First, we created the LS400 luxury sedan. Now we've taken everything we've learned.
When you play an option team, you have to commit guys to stopping the dive man, the quarterback, and the pitch man. And so far, Stanford has done that.
2nd and 5. Rico Smith on the flanker screen to the short side of the field. Smith tiptoed up the sideline, but it will not be enough for a first down.
Yeah, Rico Suave, watch this. Bryant, number 4, has a beat on him, plays it well, but misses the tackle. Smith goes right around him. He averages 29 yards a catch. Didn't get it that time, and Colorado's got a punt.
4th and 2. Glenn Milburn is back deep. The Heisman Trophy candidate for the Stanford Cardinal this year. Mitch Berger will punt it away for Colorado. Milburn ran one back almost last year, 71 yards against Colorado.
They threw a flag.
The 38-yard punt, 1 yard on the return.
Okay, but they threw a flag, and this is going to be a travesty because the guy was blocked into the kicker. He was blocked in. There should not be a flag. Watch this now. To the left of your screen, here comes the punt block. There's the man being pushed from behind right into the kicker. You shouldn't throw a flag on that.
Twan Van Lee was the culprit on the infraction.
Yeah, but it was Scott Phillips, the tight end, who pushed him. That's a bad call. Jim, you should know better than that.
Denny Green not too happy about that one. But Stanford came in and set the tone early by driving down the field and scoring. Look at the split officiating crew here.
Okay, next year, 1992, that'll all change. You won't have split officials anymore. It'll have to be one unit, all from the same place.
We have a Pac-10 and a Big 8 crew today. 1st and 10 from the 33. Hagan hands it off to Bussey.
Bussey, the ball carrier.
Kendall Bussey is a 6'3", 225-pound true freshman. As I mentioned earlier, they have 3 freshmen in the backfield that will see action today for Colorado.
See, part of that game plan for Stanford is to keep the ball out of Hagan's hands. They want to keep somebody in his face, so he has to pitch or pass the entire game. That penalty's big because it gives it back to Hagan.
2nd and 8. Hall with the carry. Runs to the right side for a gain of about 4 yards up to the 38-yard line before being stopped by Mike Jerish.
Number 66, Jerish on the stop.
Kent Call last week had 13 carries for 67 yards against Minnesota. He was coached by his father, Rick Call, at Fort Morgan High School in Colorado.
It's been impressive thus far by Stanford. Colorado had it 3 plays, punted. 3 plays, punted. Then the penalty gave them their first down.
3rd and 6. Henry goes in motion. Man, is Hagan quick or what? He is so dangerous. Held the ball up as if he was going to throw and ran it himself, but not enough for the first down.
Watch this. Hagan comes around the side. I want you to watch number 21 coming out of the right hand of your screen. Hagan will pump fake him. Boom. There goes Darian Gordon, 21. Hagan didn't get enough for the first down, though, but he sure faked Gordon out.
No, he put him in the popcorn machine. Berger shanks this one. A very poor kick that time. Out of bounds at the 45-yard line. More good field position for the Cardinal offense.
Just how realistic is the audio system in the Lexus LS 400?
Every business morning, while the rest of the world is getting up, UPS is guaranteeing overnight delivery before 10:30 for far less than other companies charge. And every business morning, more people are waking up to that fact.
Good morning.
Good morning.
When you buy a Super Color Special TV antenna from Radio Shack, you get a great value. And Radio Shack has everything you need to make installation easy. Best of all, you get Super Color's advanced technology for the clearest picture and sound possible. Reception so lifelike. It's incredible.
Hey, great picture, huh, Howie?
And Super Color antennas are here just in time for football. 2 great antennas for city, suburban, or long range from $24.88. Only at Radio Shack, America's technology store.
Well, a 16-yard Colorado punt set up great field position for the Stanford Cardinal offense. They are led by Jason Columbus so far in the ball game. He is 6 of 7 for 48 yards. Columbus, a 6'3", 210-pound senior, led the Pac-10 in passing efficiency last year. Look at the backs. Glenn Milburn is a Heisman Trophy candidate. Tommy Vardell, a tough runner inside. And a look at the offensive line that averages 6'6", 300 pounds. Where's the beef, you ask? Right there. 1st and 10. Vardell on the catch. Lots of room. Tommy Vardell takes it down to the 22-yard line before being stopped by Dion Figures. 32-yard play.
Columbus is so composed. They bring the backside pressure. Look at this. The outside linebacker's in his face. Still just kind of jumps and lofts it over him. Knows Vardell's going to be there. And then once out there, there's no flood control, no containment. Vardell almost breaks it by skipping over top of Dion Figures, the cornerback.
So it's 1st and 10 for Stanford at the 24. Justin Armour is close to us. Vardell on the carry down to the 19. Colorado's defense hit hard by graduation. Left, though, is Joel Steed, the consensus All-America at nose tackle. The linebackers led by Greg Bakert. He was their leading tackler last year. And Dion Figures, their best man-to-man coverage guy.
This defense coming into this game had allowed just 3 touchdowns in the last 20 quarters. Stanford got the opening drive and pushed it in for a touchdown. That's setting the tone.
It's 2nd and 5. Walsh is out wide left. Vardell. Down to the 16-yard line. He was hit by nose tackle Joel Steed. Man, what a first quarter that was in Michigan today, Tim.
Penn State, tough game with Boston College. You know what's interesting? Defensive coordinator Mike Hankwitz for Colorado. He knows what talent Glenn Milburn is. He respects him. So Colorado's defense is playing a lot more man-to-man coverage in this first half than normal, trying to double-team Milburn. They're running combination defenses, trying to get some extra support on it.
Mark Hudson-Buehler checks into the ball game for Stanford. They have 2 tight ends. Milburn is the other back. This is Hudson-Buehler. Nothing doing on the left side. There's also a flag on the play.
Yeah, it's going to be holding against Colorado, I believe.
Greg Bakert in on another tackle.
Dahlman and Hoyam both fired out and grabbed their guys.
Penalty markers down.
So it was holding against Stanford. They'll take it back 5 yards from the point of the infraction. Coach Denny Green in his 3rd season. He's 8-16 at Stanford after coming over from Northwestern.
Holding, offense, 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Repeat 3rd down.
You know, Mark, the first 2 games were huge disappointments for Stanford. They're reeling a little bit. They really felt that they gained respectability last year with that win at Notre Dame, and then the Cardinal won their last 3 games, finishing last season on a great high. And then to come in and lose the first 2 games took the air out of them.
It's really tough to open up against Washington, which they did this year. It's 3rd and 11.
It's 3rd and 12.
Milburn and J.J. Lastly are the backs. Columbus incomplete to Mike Cook.
Columbus' pass intended for Mike Cook, number 81, incomplete.
Good coverage that time by Julian Hayward for Colorado.
Number 26.
That'll set up a 4th and 11. Aaron Mills will come in to kick a field goal now. From 42 yards out.
He was banging them in from 47 yards out in the pregame warm-up, so he's got plenty of legs.
Smith will hold. Mills will attempt at 42.
Find out what kind of accuracy he has now.
And he's wide to the right. Colorado will take over on the 20-yard line.
I made it home last night, finally, after an hour on the freeway. The light bulb blows. Okay, get up on the ladder. And while I'm up there, the phone rings. I gotta come back down the ladder. This guy's promising me big savings if I leave AT&T. No way. Big savings. So I tell him, listen, I'm not paying a lot now. With AT&T, I don't have to question, I don't have to worry about my long distance. Give me a break. They're just not AT&T.
This is not what you want in a shave. Now you've got the edge. With 6 rich lubricants for less irritation. You've got the edge.
Here's news. If your athlete's foot won't go away, you could have more than athlete's foot. You could have a secondary yeast infection. That's right, yeast.
Only Mycotin cures both athletes' foot and secondary yeast infections with myconazole. Step up to the mic. Mycotin.
First, we created the LS400 luxury sedan. Now we've taken everything we've learned and condensed it. Introducing the Lexus ES300. All the performance of a sports sedan, all the luxury of a Lexus.
The Colorado football program building some history, and in their past, defensive back Hale Irwin, who co-captained the 1966 Colorado Buffalo team before reaching fame on the PGA Tour. Hale Irwin, a two-sport wonder. Well, the score is 7-0 Stanford. It's 1st and 10 for Colorado. Warren and Bussey are the backs. That's the freshman, Lamont Warren.
So far, the Stanford game plan is working to perfection. They are trying to overload the front. They're committed to the option. They're trying to get in Hagen's face right away and make him pitch or pass. And so far, Hagen is 1 for 2 passing 3 yards. He's got 1 carry for 4 yards, and that's it. Again, they forced Colorado wide and got him out of bounds before the first down.
Now, Warren is clutching either his right shoulder or his right hand. He's a true freshman from Dorsey High School in Los Angeles. Last week he had 61 yards on 10 carries against Minnesota. The coaching staff very high on him.
He got 8 yards on that play, and that's their biggest play of the day.
2nd and 2. Kendall Bussey takes it out.
Bussey, the ball carrier. Stopped by George.
He's up close to the 35-yard line. He's stopped by Ron George.
No gain on the play.
Be 2nd and 3. 3rd and 3. Stanford defense has come up with some big plays so far, stymieing that Colorado offense.
Stanford's trying to outnumber Colorado. You know Hagen won't be a blocker. The tailback's not, and there's a wide receiver, so the defenders are outnumbered by the blockers 10 to 8.
And Colorado calls a timeout. So they'll talk this one over, and we'll be back. It'll be 3rd and 3.
The premier performance sunglasses available.
First, we created the LS400 luxury sedan. Now we've taken everything we learned and condensed it. Introducing the new ES300. All the performance of a sports sedan, all the luxury of a Lexus.
Welcome to Stanford, California, Stanford Stadium, where the Cardinal lead the Buffaloes 7-0. I'm Mark Jones along with Tim Brandt. Next Saturday, ABC's college football gives you regional action. The Michigan Wolverines, coming off a loss to Florida State, meet rival Iowa, or Florida State hosts Syracuse out west. California takes on UCLA, or Wyoming tackles Air Force. And that's where we'll be.
Virginia 34, Duke 3.
What about Wyoming leading the WAC so far? Pardon me, Air Force leading the WAC. It's 3rd and 3 now for Colorado, coming off a timeout. 3 running backs in the game. I don't think they made it. Lamont Warren was tripped up in the backfield for little or no gain. Tyrone Parker was there to trip him up.
They put Tyrone Parker in the middle today. That's a big change. He's been playing outside. Actually, he's been on the offensive side, but look at the penetration he gets. And then the linebackers fill. Coy Gibbs, Dan Byers just filled perfectly. Stanford is playing a very solid game defensively.
So Glenn Milburn will get another shot at returning a punt. Mitch Berger had a 17-yard punt last time.
Milburn is deep for Stanford.
A high kick. Milburn will take it on the 23, where he calls for the fair catch.
By Milburn at his own 23.
Berger with a 44-yard punt, much better than last time. Bill McCartney is in his 10th season at Colorado. His record of 59, 47, and 2. Speaking with him yesterday, seemed very relaxed and didn't really seem at all concerned about the fact that they were upset at home a couple of weeks ago against Baylor when I asked him about it.
Now, those people that are unhappy with Denny Green, take heart. In his first 3 years, McCartney went 2-8-1, 4-7, and 1-10. Then he won a national championship last year.
Vardell cuts it upfield. There's a flag on the play. Vardell gets out to the 28-yard line.
This Stanford offense, it's a pro-style attack taken from the 49ers.
Number 34, major stop.
And because it's somewhat complicated, it takes time to develop. And I think that's why Denny Green's club has traditionally been a slow starter.
Holding. Offense. 10 yards. Respond to the foul. Repeat first down.
Watch number 70, the left of your screen. His hands are within his body. Now they're out, extended. Now you look at your tight end. He's a good block there. Pushes his guy out, just runs with it. But that was big old number 70, Bob Whitfield, everybody's All-American. Whitfield's an Outland Trophy candidate. 6'7", 300 pounds, moves well. Let his hands get away from him a little bit that time.
So it's 1st and 22 now for Stanford. 3 receivers out to the right. Columbus takes off himself. And he's out to the 13-yard line.
On a keeper.
Stopped up by Chad Brown, second leading tackler last year.
Stop on Columbus. Check it, that's Brown, Chad Brown, number 34.
So it'll be 2nd and 20. John Pinckney checks into the game for Stanford.
You know, so far the Stanford offense has used a lot of formations, more specifically 3 wides to one side in an effort to spread out or thin out that Colorado defense. Stanford wants to reduce Colorado's front.
Got 4 seconds to go in the first quarter of play. And they've stopped the clock.
Sideline warning. Defense.
All right, what that is
Colorado's coaching staff.
Well, not only that, but they're trying to get the players back. Watch them move back now. You see them all starting to move back. They've got to stay outside of that white area. See where the stripes are? And also the coaches evidently have been on the officials, so they're going to get a sideline warning.
And that's the end of the first quarter. It ends Stanford leading 7-0. Denny Green couldn't hope for anything more. We'll be right back.
You'll need the power of a shop vac.
Don't forget to get Steam Team, the attachment that turns any shop vac into a powerful carpet cleaner.
Just how realistic is the audio system in the Lexus LS 400?
Well, it's the start of the second quarter. Stanford leads Colorado 7-0. And so far, the story of the game, Stanford's offense has really controlled the tempo. Ozzie Gradaro and Tommy Vardell are the split backs. Is Gradaro. Gradaro with a first down. I talked about the offense controlling the tempo so far. Look at the total yards, 116 to 25.
in the coach's offices yesterday, looked at the blackboard, and there was a phrase up there. It said, control it and mix it up. They wanted to control the game, and they've done that. Using a lot of different formations. They're thinning things out. Now, that Colorado defense is very, very quick, but consequently, they've been running themselves out of the play, and the Stanford running backs are cutting back against it.
Walsh and Pickney are the receivers. It's 3rd and 10. Columbus goes to Walsh, and there's a flag on the play. Definitely looked like pass interference. Mike Cook was the intended receiver.
Well, Cook and Julian Hayward, the cornerback, were both stumbling. It's a late release into the flat. Now watch this. Okay, here comes Cook, back outside. Now here goes Hayward, number 26, stumbles on the back of his legs.
First down. Almost looked as if Hayward had a hold of him with his right hand.
Well, I think he was just stumbling, came down on the back of his legs. Of course, you're in a panic situation at that point. You don't want this guy to make the catch and go with you laying on the ground. So go ahead and take him down, get the penalty, and at least you're saving a touchdown.
Stanford receiver is running a lot of the intermediate routes so far. Not a lot of speed at the receiver position. Won't see a lot of the vertical passing game. It's 1st and 10. Ball is on the 25-yard line. Columbus play action. It's picked off. Chris Hudson has some room. And he'll score. Chris Hudson with a juggling act took it back all the way on the interception. And the Buffalo defense takes care of the scoring.
You know what? Walsh was wide open, too, as cross on the post pattern. This ball's just overthrown because Hudson's playing soft. Look at him way back in the back. The ball is overthrown, and then Hudson gets around the corner. There's nobody in pursuit here except the lineman, and you're not going to tell me a lineman can catch Chris Hudson. An impossibility, and a 40-yard return for the touchdown. Just a poorly thrown ball by Columbus because Colorado was in a zone defense, and Walsh was wide open in the seam.
Harper for the point after the touchdown. Well, that's the type of play that has symbolized the Stanford season so far. We'll be right back.
A driver's side airbag is now standard on every new Accord, Civic, and Prelude. But remember, it's most effective when you wear your seatbelt.
Radio Shack, America's technology store.
Sale prices have never been better at Radio Shack. Here's proof. This realistic high-powered in-AM/FM radio cassette with 30 presets just reduced to $99.95. Or this high-quality voice-actuated realistic micro-cassette recorder for school or office, only $33.88. Radio Shack has over 80 cassette player recorder models to choose from. Shop your friendly nearby Radio Shack. Great selection, superior service. Nobody compares.
I have Denorex on this side. As soon as I put Denorex on my hair, I felt like the itch was going away.
What does the Denorex tingle tell you?
The tingle feels like it's taken away the dandruff.
Denorex shampoo and conditioner has strong medicine to fight dandruff and its itch, plus conditioners to leave hair healthy looking and manageable.
The Denorex tingle tells me it works, and I see that it works. I have no dandruff, and I have no itch.
Denorex with conditioners, the dandruff shampoo you can feel working.
With the highest resale value in its class and proven Honda reliability, the Accord is a safe place to put your money.
Syracuse tackles Florida State. Michigan meets Big Ten rival Iowa, plus other regional action all next Saturday on ABC's College Football.
Freshman Chris Hudson, you're looking at him right now. He just returned an interception, 40 yards for a touchdown.
His second interception. Here's Walsh. You see he's wide open. The ball's just overthrown. Hudson is playing in that deep right half. Colorado loves to play zone, take away the deep stuff. This ball was just overthrown, and then he returns it back. Second interception of the year for redshirt freshman Chris Hudson.
We've seen a lot of freshmen on our flip cards here. Gary Barnett, the offensive coordinator, was joking, saying he's got to have a milk and cookie break during every practice.
Going to find out what kind of team Stanford is right now, see if they can come back or whether they fold their tents.
Mitch Berger to kick it off for Colorado. Bernardo and Bowden deep. This is Bernardo. Bernardo has some room. One man to beat. Ozzie Granardo takes it down to the Colorado 33-yard line, where he's run out of bounds by Ryan Thomas. 64-yard kickoff return.
Well, there'll be no tent folding here. Watch Granardo now. He had the first kickoff return, 44 yards. Stanford went on to score there. Now he comes back this one, 64 yards. Just a middle return, outran the coverage. Everybody stayed in their lanes for Colorado, and once he got through, he was clean.
It's just the type of kickoff return they needed after a big turnover that cost them 6 points. Bernardo is a 5'9", 165-pound freshman. So Jason Columbus will take over. It's 1st and 10. The ball is on the 33. J.J. Lashley and Glenn Milburn will be the backs. The handoff goes to J.J. Lashley. He's stopped by Chad Brown. Brown was the Colorado Buffalo's second leading tackler last year, and he's also their best pass rusher, but right there playing the run very well.
I want to see Columbus throw another pass, come back from that interception. You know, 2 years ago, Ron Turner told Jason Columbus he would never start for Stanford. He believed that because he told Jason that football wasn't important to him. Well, he made Turner eat his words. He came back as a tough quarterback.
It's 2nd and 10. Pickney in motion to the right. He had Lashley wide open, but he overthrew him. Columbus looking a little hesitant on that pass attempt. Eric Hamilton was there to break it up.
See, and that's exactly what I was just talking about with Columbus. You want to see him come back and get back into a rhythm after the interception. He's had trouble doing that in the past. Comes back this time, and it's a poorly thrown pass.
Number 6, Hamilton was putting.
Eric Hamilton was in it right in his face that time. It's 3rd and 10 now. Milburn in motion. He completes. Oh, it's incomplete. Dropped by Chris Walsh. A catchable ball, but incomplete.
Peters, number 19, covering on a play. That'll bring up 4th down.
Watch Walsh, number 80, the right hand of your screen. Just kind of comes up in the curl area. This has killed Stanford this year. The one thing the coaches will tell you that has really hurt them offensively, drop passes. They had 5 passes dropped in their last game, and here again, Walsh drops a pass that was very, very catchable.
Aaron Mills now is in for Stanford. He will attempt a 50-yard field goal. His longest so far this year is 33 yards. And he's off to the left. Kicking into the wind, it was no good. We'll be right back. The score still 7-7.
Stanford 7, Colorado 7.
There's a level of service with which you're already quite familiar. Only now you can enjoy it at 35,000 feet. Delta's person-to-person service to over 270 cities worldwide. At Delta, we love to fly, and it shows.
Spend less time at the pump. The CRX HF from Honda.
Boy,
What's new tonight?
I love you.
More than you can imagine.
What did you say?
What did you hear?
With the season premiere of Who's the Boss on its new night, then...
The Seavers would like to extend to you a formal invitation.
That's right. We're moving to Saturday nights.
Is that why we're dressed up in these monkey suits? Yeah, I can barely breathe in this thing.
You're supposed to take this out, bonehead.
Growing Pains, Saturdays on ABC, right after Who's the Boss. But come as you are.
Stanford's first and only Heisman Trophy winner in 1970 was Jim Plunkett, who also led the team to an upset victory over Ohio State in the 1971 Rose Bowl. Went on to a very successful career with the Raiders and won a Super Bowl there. Look at Jason Columbus now on the sidelines. It's first and 10 for Colorado on the 33-yard line. Colin Warren of the backs. Hagan has plenty of time and hits Mark Henry at the 47-yard line. That's a 12-yard gain. Hagan had all year to throw. Good time to point out that the Stanford defense has yet to mark a sack this year. They have not sacked the quarterback. It's first and 10. Hill and Warren are the backs. Hagan keeps it on the option. Great balance. Down to the 47-yard line of Stanford. There you saw some of the quickness of Darian Hagan.
It's the first big play Hagan's had all day. They've kept him fairly well contained, but he gets a good block on the corner. The linebacker was stumbling. Just has that innate ability to feel trouble coming. He knows had he kept his feet, he was off to the races. Now Stanford coming into this game allowed 6 yards per play. They've held Colorado today to just over 2.
And this is Colorado's deepest penetration. It's 2nd and 4. Lamont Warren with the carry up the middle. Gain about 4 yards. Well, coming up Monday night, ABC Sports is in our nation's capital as Mark Rippon and the undefeated Washington Redskins host their division rivals, Jim McMahon and the Philadelphia Eagles. It all begins 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific.
That game's at RFK Stadium. Washington has averaged 40-0 in 2 games at RFK this year.
Warren on the option. He takes the toss. Wheels it down to the 22-yard line. Lamont Warren with some strong running. A 23-yard gain. Albert Richardson ran him out of bounds.
Remember at the beginning I said you've got to commit to the dive and the pitch and the quarterback. Here you see the quarterback pressure, but watch this now. Bryant just gets pushed out, and once he does, there's nobody in the secondary to help out. The free safety's late coming over. Finally, Albert Richardson, the strong safety, knocks him out of bounds. It's one of the dangers of that. When you commit guys to certain roles defensively, you're giving things up in the secondary.
Timeout, Stanford.
Well, it'll be 1st and 10. Colorado knocking on the door. We'll be right back.
Our competition uses a very sophisticated, state-of-the-art, highly precise device to measure their cars. Our car, the Accord from Honda.
You could call one company to take your package to an address across town. And you could find somebody to take your package to any address cross-country. Then you could call a third outfit that could take your package overseas. And yet another that could take your package overnight. But there's only one company you could call if you only wanted to make one call.
I don't want gimmicks. I want just one company I can count on.
You know, we're going to see this dramatic drop in our phone bill, and we didn't.
And it was just like a hassle figuring out both bills, both sets, and so we just said, hey, you know, we just scrapped it.
The service wasn't there.
So I went to AT&T and stayed with AT&T.
And I've been happy with them ever since, and it's just been great.
Get back the service and value you deserve. Come back to AT&T now for free.
Well, it was built in 1960. Hoover Tower at Stanford University. Majestic-looking structure. It's first down and 10. The ball is on the Stanford 21-yard line. Three backs in for Colorado. Hagan to pass, wide open, incomplete for Sean Brown. He got twisted around and couldn't hang on to it, but he was wide open.
Cute little wrinkle there. When you commit, guys, your man coverage, they just sent the tight end straight down, but the play started like it was going to be the load option again. Hagan came out, faked to the drawback, then just went ahead and popped it up to his tight end. Brown was wide open.
Brown is their leading receiver this year, also their best blocking tight end.
Had 9 receptions, 1 touchdown, junior college transfer.
It's second and 10. Hagan gives it to Warren, who gets down to the 19-yard line. A gain of about 2 yards. Ron George made the stop for the Cardinal.
29 made the stop on Warren. No gain on the play. That'll bring up third and 10 at the 20.
Look at Darian Hagan, who was worked out by the Seattle Mariners just a few months ago. Colorado is 0 for 3 on their third down conversion so far. It's third and 10. Hagan with plenty of time. Into the end zone, complete. Michael Westbrook on the touchdown. 20 yards for the major. Darian Hagan had all day to make his mind up.
I really believe Darian Hagan's one of the very few guys in all of college football who can actually control a game. Carries this ball all the way up to the line of scrimmage. So if you're playing in pass coverage, you now have to respect him as a runner. So you come up. As soon as you come up, he stops and drops it over you for the touchdown.
And the
conversion is good.
And the score, Stanford 14. Colorado 14, Stanford 7. Colorado went 66 yards in 7 plays.
Colorado leads 14-7. Let's find out more about the Colorado campus in Boulder.
Come on, guys, pick it up.
A lot of us like to go run in the mountains real early in the morning.
The teachers I've had at the University of Colorado all have one thing in common. They're extremely committed to their field. They have so much energy and want to pass that on to their students.
I know in my environmental studies classes, it's great to have an impact on undergraduates.
All right.
Air Force nothing. 4th period.
Well, Darian Hagan worked his magic again, threatening the defense both as a runner and a passer. Tim, it paid off here.
Yeah, but see, the linebacker 29 got caught inside there, okay? That's George. Once that happens, Hagan gets outside, and if you're in the secondary, you have to respect him as a runner. It looked like he was going to run. So as soon as you come up to support the run, he just throws right over top of you. The guys are back there by themselves, wide open.
Well, no signs of that knee injury on Darian Hagan's part so far. He tore up that knee against Notre Dame last year in the Orange Bowl, and he diligently worked on his rehabilitation and looks to be 100%.
Hill and Westbrook were both in the back of the end zone getting wide-eyed waiting for that ball. You take it, I'll take it. No, you take it. Touchdown.
They'll be fighting over that one in the locker room at halftime. Colorado leads 14-7. Mitch Berger will kick it off for the Buffaloes. Ozzie Granardo, who has returned the ball very well this afternoon. He's had 2 big returns.
Yeah, 108 yards.
108 yards. That's Granardo again at the 3. Not this time. Chris O'Donnell makes the tackle at the 22.
Number 45, O'Donnell.
Make that the 19-yard line.
15 yards return by Stanford.
Wyoming leads UTEP by a touchdown. We'll have Wyoming against the Air Force next week in Colorado.
Air Force and BYU going after it right now. That game will be in Colorado Springs. Air Force has been strong. Christian DeBerry's flex bone working.
Well, it's 1st and 10 now for Stanford. The ball is at the 19. Columbus had hit 6 in a row. Since then, he's gone 0 for 4 through the air. This time he hands it off to Vardell, who breaks 3 tackles and makes it out to the 27-yard line.
That is an excellent point, too, Mark. And the reason is, we talked about it before, when he threw that interception, you've got to come back. He's got to get in his rhythm. He's got to keep his confidence high. It hasn't been that way. He hadn't found that rhythm. Pulling the trigger a little bit, pinching his passes. And consequently, he's 0 for 4 since that interception.
It's 2nd down, 2 yards to go. 3 receivers out to the left. Vardell is stopped for a loss of 1 yard by Marcellus Elder. Elder, a 6'5", 285-pound junior. They'll set up a 3rd and 5 now for the Cardinal offense. Flynn Milburn has been conspicuous by his absence so far in this ball game. He's checking in right now.
Loss of about a yard on the play, brings up 3rd down.
Well, Milburn got off to a very strong start. But see, now they're trying to double team him. They respected him as a runner and a passer.
Milburn and Vardell are the backs. Pickney is the receiver out wide. Columbus to Vardell. Makes a nice move, and he's got some room. Vardell is dragged down at the 37-yard line by Dion Figures.
You know who makes this play available? It's Milburn. Milburn comes out, and they go with him. Then right underneath comes Vardell. He's wide open because both guys went with Figures, number 2, and Hamilton both went with Milburn. Once Vardell gets it, he's got great speed for a fullback. I think Milburn and Vardell give Stanford probably the best 1-2 punch in the country. Bad part of that is there's no depth.
Vardell ran for a career high in rushing last week, actually 2 weeks ago, against Arizona.
Another sideline warning to Stanford. We've got to find out what's going on down there. They got to keep the guys back off those white lines. Keep them back. And evidently these officials are sticklers for that.
Ball at the 37, 1st and 10.
Both teams have been in that white area, which is not allowed.
Right, that's what I just said. You got to stay out of those stripes and push them back, because these officials are watching that. Here's Milburn,
and he's got a little room on the right side. Takes it down to the 22-yard line. Flynn Milburn exploding that time for 16 yards. Ronnie Bradford ran him out of bounds.
Bradford chased him out of bounds.
Great trap blocking. They take out the contained man, knock him off. That was Chad Brown, 34. And once Milburn gets outside, he's got plenty of speed to pick up that 1st down.
Spoke with Milburn yesterday, asked him what his grade point average was, and only a Stanford student would say 3.1 and look very disappointed.
Oh, absolutely. You know, he had a 3.8 when he was at Oklahoma. He transferred from Oklahoma in '88. He was their smartest athlete.
It's 1st and 10. We have a whistle and a flag.
Yeah, big old Brian Cassidy, the left guard, just jumped.
They'll move this one back.
Dead ball. Ball start.
When he starts moving, too, it's hard to stop it. He's 6'5", 305.
That offensive line averaging 6'6", 300 pounds, but Coach Denny Green, who you see, said that the line isn't playing as well as they could right now. He expects them to improve a lot.
The only interior line that is bigger in all of football is the Indianapolis Colts.
It's 1st and 15 now. The back's in the eye. Milburn, the deep back. And Columbus will call a timeout and talk this one over.
Well, the play clock had gotten down to 3 seconds.
That's 2 plays in a row now. Stanford looking very timid and unorganized. Well, tonight the ABC Saturday night lineup begins. First, 2 of your comedy favorites, Who's the Boss and Growing Pains, move to their new night, followed by an all-new Young Riders. Then one of the most unusual new characters on television, The Commish. It's a night of premieres tonight on ABC.
East Michigan 3, Wisconsin nothing. First period. San Jose State 3, Utah State nothing. Third period.
It'll be interesting to see just how far Michigan falls in the polls now after that loss.
You know what, Mark? In the late July, I had played some golf with Bobby Bowden, and for the first time I think I can ever remember, Bowden said, "I've got the talent to win the national championship." Everybody else has always touted him as being the national title contender, but this year he said it. He said, "This is the best team I've had," and they showed it today against Michigan.
Awesome speed, sideline to sideline.
The 1991 football schedule this year was sponsored by the Merchants of Los Alamos.
It's a great day for football here in Stanford, California. About 65 degrees, sunny. A lot of festivities this week on campus as they celebrate their 100th anniversary. We're going to have a big performance coming up this week. Whoopi Goldberg will be here, as well as a few other stars. 1st and 15 on the 26. Columbus changes the play. Milburn skips outside. Milburn dancing all the way down to the 17-yard line. Does he have quick feet?
Oh, he is definitely the most exciting player here since John Elway and Darren Nelson. Very meek and mild guy off the field, very explosive on the field. Watch this. Watch the block he gets on the corner right there. Now he cuts it back up inside the block from the wide receiver. 5 carries, 41 yards.
And showing no ill effects of that knee injury suffered 2 weeks ago.
Some of the coaches said that he was a little tentative cut to the left, but he didn't show it that time.
Denny Green using him judiciously this afternoon. It's 1st and 5. Bardell. Hard running up the middle, down to the 12-yard line. He's stopped up by Chad Brown and Eric Hamilton.
Bardell, the ball carrier, stopped by Brown and Hamilton.
He had a 75-yard touchdown called back last week. He's got 3 touchdowns for the year. He's a load, 6'3", 235 pounds. Short yardage guy last year. They're trying to get him more involved in the ball game in the wide open formations.
Reminds you a lot of Brad Muster, another former Cardinal player.
Yeah, he's an all Pac-10 type guy.
3rd down and 1. Ball at the 11. Bardell again for the 1st down.
See, that's what we're talking about. Short yardage guy. There's no secret what Stanford's going to do. They line up and they dare you to stop them. They just said, hey, the rule's here now, guys. Straight ahead, no fair dodging. Watch this. You know he's going to be the carrier. It's short yardage. He always gets it short yardage. He just gets up behind those big old linemen there in the trenches, just kind of pushes them forward. He's also playing with a lot more confidence now than he ever has.
Straight ahead football. Tommy Bardell, 30 yards so far in the afternoon.
Reminds me of Tom Rathman with the 49ers. Used to play out in Nebraska.
Ball is on the 8. Bardell again. Man, he's earning his yards. What little on that play.
Bardell, the ball carrier, stopped by Thomas. Beekert also there.
Beekert got into him that time, and then all the supporting cast came to follow. Of course, Beekert's an all-American linebacker.
Number 39.
Beekert put on about 10 pounds, says he feels a lot stronger this season.
Yeah, he leads the Big 8 in tackles. Very superstitious guy. Wore number 53 and was a red shirt. He changed to number 49 for 2 days, had a bad day, so now he's number 19.
2 receivers out to the left. 2 tight ends. Pickney in motion. Columbus is sacked by Ron Wolford.
Behind the line by Wolford, number 56.
Wolford, the 6'3", 235-pound sophomore.
Number 99.
Columbus has to unload this ball. Right now, he saw the pressure coming. Instead of trying to duck under it,
He's got to try to get rid of it. Well, I tell you what, the pressure was on him pretty quickly. That's easy for me to say. I don't know if he could have unloaded it. Wolfick was right there. It's his 3rd sack of the year.
Somebody may have missed a block on that play. Regardless, 3rd down, 12 to go.
Getting 1 sack for Colorado is like chum to a shark. They've got 13 for the year. You don't want them to get them on a frenzy.
They've got 4 receivers in the game. Columbus is pressured, and it's incomplete. See what I mean?
Once they start coming, look out.
Brown and Woolfolk in on the pressure.
See, they just feel they can get to him. After they get that 1 sack, they come both sides. Chad Brown, he was coming one side. They were meeting him on the other side with Woolfolk. Guys break the defensive huddle, tap hands, and say, I'll meet you at the quarterback. It's not what Columbus wants to hear.
Aaron Mills in for a field goal attempt of 29 yards. He's already missed 2 this afternoon, coming from 42 and 50 yards. Make that 3 misses for Aaron Mills.
You know what? Mills raised his hands. He thought it went through even after it hit the ground. He's suffering from a bad case of the Opers today, 0 for 3. That would have been good last year, but they've closed in the uprights.
Well, Colorado leads 14-7, 5:29 to play. You know, Coach Bill McCartney has faced high expectations this year in Boulder, and I asked him what the difference was between coaching last year's team and this year's team.
This is a fun team to coach, a very young team. But we have small senior class, a lot of morale, a lot of enthusiasm. We make a lot of mistakes, but we've got a lot of talent.
You know, they have a lot of talent. That might be the biggest understatement in all of college football.
Well, he's had 3 great years of recruiting. There's no question that he's had that. But now I think his biggest concern is that they're all so young. I mean, you just look at his offensive line. Besides Lewinberg, the senior, you go across, Anderson's a sophomore, Moore is a freshman, Jackson is a sophomore, and Hanson's a junior. As a matter of fact, I think Clint Moore is the first true freshman at CU to start on that offensive line ever. Now, since 1989, look at the dominance of the Buffaloes. 24-3-1. I mean, you can't get any better than that. That's an 87.5% winning percentage. And they're always highly ranked.
Part of the reason for their success is the tremendous amount of success they've had recruiting in the California area.
You know what else? They've won 23 out of 27 games when Darian Hagan starts. That's a major factor in those statistics you just read.
Hagan, one of those California products from Locke High School in Los Angeles.
1st and 10 for Colorado.
He too is a Heisman candidate.
It's 1st and 10. Kendall Bussey carried the ball that time.
Bussey
was tripped up, may have had some more room.
Tripped up by number 55, Byers.
He was tripped up by Dan Byers, number 55.
Gain of a yard on a play. It's 2nd and 9. Ball's on the 21.
Well, it's a busy Saturday afternoon here on ABC. We'll go over a lot of the scores during the course of this afternoon. 2nd and 9. Backs are in the eye. Hagan complete to Charles Johnson. Johnson runs across the field to the 41. Run out of bounds by Albert Richardson. 20-yard play for Colorado. Well, coming up at halftime on the Prudential Halftime Report, Roger and Bo Schembechler bring you the latest college football news, scores, and highlights from around the country, including a summary and analysis of that Florida State-Michigan game. Number 1 defeats number 3. It's 1st and 10 for Colorado now on their own 41. Henry goes in motion to the right. Hagan pump fakes, looking deep. He's got a man. Henry makes the catch down at the 23-yard line of Stanford. Vaughn Bryant providing the coverage, but not good coverage. 36 yards on the pass and run.
Yeah, see, Stanford's getting what they want. They're getting the ball out of Hagen's hands, but he's hot. 5 for 7 now, 91 yards. Look at this. The defense for Stanford is rotating to the ball. They're trying to, what they have like a wheel spoke, rotating to the side of the strength of formation. And Bryant just never got over there, the cornerback.
This is Lamont Warren. He's forced out of bounds. Gain of about 3 yards on the play. Dan Byers and Albert Richardson ran him out. Coaches yesterday spoke very highly of Lamont Warren. He saw his first action of the season against Minnesota, and he really impressed the coaching staff. Second down and 6 for Colorado. The backs are in the eye. The slot moves from right to left now. Hagen keeps it himself. Moves down to the 15. Fires again with his third consecutive tackle. He is so light on his feet, Darian Hagen. Stanford defense that time unable to force him to make the toss. A 5-yard gain for Darian Hagen. Bussey and Warren are the backs in the eye. Hagen passes it, incomplete. Was intended for Kendall Bussey, but he couldn't hang on to it. It would have been a first down.
Hagen's pass intended for Bussey, incomplete. That'll bring up fourth down.
Good pressure from number 78, Rembus. He comes up the middle. That forces Hagen to throw off his back foot. See that? The ball still should have been caught, though. It was just dropped. Jim Harper in for the 32-yard field goal now for Colorado.
32 yards.
And he misses. And with that, we've seen our 4th missed field goal attempt of the afternoon. Very sharp angle on that one. Well, we have a third member of our crew this afternoon. His name is Martin Wyatt. Martin, what do you have for us?
Tim, you know, one thing the Colorado coaches have been emphasizing right here on the sideline ever since the opening kickoff. Look, guys, we've got the bodies. They don't. It's hot here. We're going to wear them down. Just stay in there. We've got the bodies. And it looks like, at least from this side, that they are starting to wear down Stanford a little bit. Hansen, by the way, the free safety, the backup, is injured, and he has his shoulder pads off. It doesn't look like he's going to get back into the game.
All right, Martin. Hansen, one of their academic All-Americans. Glenn Milburn carrying the ball for the Cardinal that time. Not much room on the left side. Tackled by Greg Beaker.
Milburn, the ball carrier.
Beaker, a ferocious tackler for Colorado.
Martin does make a good point. We talked about it earlier. There is a lack of depth on Stanford's club, and it is hot. And so many guys have been injured and banged up now. You're starting to see the effects with Colorado starting to dominate.
Colorado used to playing at altitude. Second down and 10. No gain on first for Milburn. Columbus complete to Walsh. Makes a move. He slips and is down to the 38-yard line. Chris Walsh, the senior, with a big play. 41 yards.
This is the first time since the interception that you've seen Columbus actually step up and fire the ball with rhythm. He does it right over the middle to Walsh. That's the exact same pass that was picked off earlier. Now, Columbus is 9 for 15, 158 yards. And Chris Walsh came back, got into the seam, found his opening, took it and ran with it. That's a big-time play.
Pickney is out wide to the right, Walsh to the left. The handoff goes to Vardell. Joel Steed, a real man in the middle. No gain on that play.
You know, last year I said Zorich, Stewart at Alabama, and Steed were the 3 best nose guards in all of college football. Now, Zorich is gone. Stewart we saw last week still playing for the Tide is awfully tough, but you can't find much better than Joel Steed in the middle.
He also is playing a little banged up. See one of the Colorado players going off the field, being escorted. That was Nelson. We'll try and get an update for you a little later. That pass incomplete for J.J. Lashley. That sets up a 3rd and 11 now for the Cardinal offense.
And 34 Brown putting the pressure on Columbus.
You know, in the last 4 possessions, Stanford has had 3 missed field goals and 1 interception. So after starting so fast, they've really struggled here in the second period.
Time winding down. You see how much time left. 1:58. 3rd and 11 for Stanford. 3 receivers out to the left. Chad Brown forced the incomplete pass. He hit Jason Columbus just as he was releasing it. As I mentioned earlier, Chad Brown, their best pass rusher. One of the replacements for Canavis McGee and Alfred Williams.
They're just laying their ears back now, but this is a big play by Columbus. See, instead of taking the sack, he unloads the ball.
Number 86, Rico Smith.
It's 4th and 11. Paul Stonehouse comes in to punt for Stanford. Rico Smith back to receive the kick. It's a high kick. Smith calls for the fair catch and lets it fall.
Down by Stanford.
The score 14-7 Colorado. Stay with us.
37-yard kick by Stonehouse.
I'm Al Michaels with an invitation to join us for a great matchup on Monday Night Football. Jim McMahon leads the Philadelphia Eagles with a mark of 3-1 into Washington to meet the unbeaten Washington Redskins. RFK Stadium will be in a frenzy. Monday night, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific.
Sunday.
Your playmate of the month pays $15,000? Just let the time slip.
Suzanne Summers is no longer keeping secrets. Sunday.
Welcome back to Stanford Stadium. The score 14-7, 1:41 to play in the second quarter. Colorado takes over on their own 3. The Buffaloes trying to improve that interior running game.
The ball carrier.
Kent Call was the ball carrier on that play.
Stanford has 1 timeout remaining. 1:25 left in the first half. If they stop them on this next play, they should take that timeout. Try to hold the clock as much as they can, because if they can stop Colorado here, they'll have excellent field position.
2nd and 9. Call and Bussey are the backs. Hagan hands it off to Bussey. Check that, James Hill on the carry that time. Hill has been hampered by an ankle injury all week. It slowed him down. He has fallen on the depth chart.
Clock continues to move. 45 seconds. It's a moot point now. They only need a yard for the first. Have 2 downs to get it.
Colorado just going to use up some clock here and get into the locker room with a 14-7 lead.
Saw Tate Nelson walking off for Colorado. No shoulder pads going into the locker room. He's a junior. He's got a concussion. Won't be back this afternoon.
3rd and 1. Kent Call that time gets the first down for Colorado.
All right, that'll stop the clock with 19 seconds left.
Stopped by Parker, number 60.
While they move the chains.
And that's good for the first down.
First down Buffaloes now. Maybe 1 or 2 big plays. They get into field goal range, but the clock begins to run.
Oh, no shot of that. They'll just go into the locker room here. That's it.
Yep. So Coach McCartney takes his team into the locker room with a 14-7 lead. Denny Green, though, can't be too disappointed. Said he wanted to be in this ball game at halftime. We'll return with halftime activities after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
ABC's College Football, brought to you by Honda, who put the driver's airbag on every new Accord, Civic, and Prelude and urges you to buckle up.
It's a symbol of security for millions of Americans. A document that protects your rights in all 50 states. And an inspiration for all who honor it. It's the Goodyear Promise. Available only with Goodyear Certified Auto Service. It includes a nationwide warranty that promises we'll fix your car right or fix it again free at 2,700 locations nationwide. Good tires, good service, good people, Goodyear.
It was designed to run like a watch. Just strap it on.
Tonight, on the season premiere, is it freedom of the press?
You're lying about me. You know this ain't true.
Or are they framing Hickok?
That murderer don't deserve a trial.
An all-new Young Riders. Then, he's a loving husband and father, and the most unusual police commissioner a city's ever had.
Abso-freaking-lutely.
The premiere of The Commish. Following the season premiere of Young Riders tonight.
In today's hectic business environment, you need the right tools to stay ahead. You need information right at your fingertips. Laptop Express has a wide variety of laptops and notebooks to meet all your computing needs. Laptop Express is featuring Librex notebook computers starting at just $19.95. Librex has the best display, lightest weight, and largest capacity available today. Purchase a Librex notebook computer by October 19th. Get a $499 Canon BJ10E portable printer for only $99. Laptop Express, downtown and the Denver Tech Center.
They're starting to make snow in Colorado ski country.
The Prudential Halftime Report. Brought to you by The Prudential. Come to the companies of The Prudential and build your future on the rock. Reporting from New York, Roger Twyble and Bo Schembechler.
And hi, everybody. Welcome to our ABC studios in New York. Let's get you caught up on some scores right now. And a couple of teams ranked in the top 20, Georgia Tech and Clemson. Of course, Clemson ranked 7th, have lost their last 2 games to Georgia Tech. In the first quarter of this one, Jimmy Lincoln of the Yellow Jackets breaks free for a 59-yard gain. He rushed for over 200 yards last week against Virginia. It was the key play in an 84-yard drive and was the longest play against Clemson this year. Their defense has been terrific. Now, that run set up Sean Jones. And watch this versatile quarterback. Doesn't find it there, breaks it, runs 10 yards on the option, and Tech gets out to a 7-0 lead. And, of course, Clemson kicked that field goal just before the half, so Georgia Tech leads it 7-3. Now, Clemson got off to a great start, winning their first 2 games. They play 7 home games this year, folks. And the away games, as you look at the schedule, they have just a couple of games on the road. And at Georgia, you saw that. That's a bus ride. North Carolina's a bus ride. South Carolina's a bus ride. Bo, before they get on an airplane, they go to play Duke in Tokyo. What does the schedule mean as they move toward a national championship? It looks pretty good for Clemson right now.
Well, scheduling, of course, is very important depending on who you play. And, of course, if you don't have to travel very long, you can get up in the morning on Saturday morning, you down play the game. That's a great help to your chances.
Man, you love it. It keeps the expenses down, too.
Yeah.
Well, Colorado ranks 17th in the nation playing their first road game, but that doesn't bother them at all because they've won 15 of their last 17 games on the road. Second quarter, Jason Columbus, the quarterback for Stanford, is picked off by Chris Hudson. Nice juggling act. Look at that. Finally comes away with it. And Hudson of the Buffaloes returns it 40 yards all the way for a touchdown. And it's all tied up at 7 apiece. That after a Tommy Vardell touchdown for the Cardinal in the first quarter. Now, still in the second, Darian Hagan. You know he can run with it. He can throw it, too. He finds Mike Westbrook. 20 yards and the touchdown
14, well, there were two guys there. Anybody could have had it. 14-7, Colorado leads Stanford at halftime. But one of the things, Bo, you noticed in this game was the fact that there have been some missed field goals there.
Aaron Mills, the Stanford kicker, has missed 3 field goals. And that seems to be a trend today, and that they were missing a lot of field goals. We're not attempting quite as many. And the narrowing of those goalposts is having a real impact on the kicking game.
And not moving those hash marks in when they narrowed them. That's a big factor.
Right.
Florida State and Michigan. Of course, this game ranked number 1 Florida State against number 3 Michigan in Ann Arbor. Casey Weldon now 10-0 as a starter. He threw 3 touchdown passes. Amp Lee, the versatile back with 200 total yards, 51-31. The drubbing there. And 51 points against Michigan at Ann Arbor. Dead at 50, well, Cornell twice, Northwestern, Ohio State a couple times. So today, kind of a bit of history, only the 6th time in over 100 years, over 50 points scored. And we'll have a report of more detail later on that Michigan-Florida State game. Miami ranked 2nd in the nation at Tulsa. Gino Torretta has thrown a couple touchdowns. Steve McGuire has ran for 2. 31-10, they lead Tulsa in the 4th quarter. Kansas State made the trip to Seattle, and their coach, Snyder, he just said, look, I'd like to get out of this game. We're getting $250,000 bucks, but you can keep it. Right now in the 3rd quarter, Washington leads it 35-3. Jay Berry, a couple of touchdown runs in that game. Virginia Tech at Oklahoma, and they have been giving the Sooners a tough time at Owen Field in the 4th quarter, 27-10. Cale Gundy has broken the single-game pass completion record. He's got 16 completions. That broke Jack Mildren's record set back in the late 60s. Notre Dame at Purdue. This one 45-20, the final. Rick Meyer didn't start the game. He missed a couple of days of practice. He had a couple of touchdown passes and 1 run. 4 Purdue turnovers converted into 28 Irish points. Boston College at Penn State. Penn State got out to a good start. They held on for the 28-21 lead. The Nittany Lions intercepted 5 BC passes. Sacco with 16 of 22, 292, and 1 touchdown pass. Pittsburgh at Minnesota. This game at the Metrodome. And Pitt's gotten off to a great start this year, 3-0. Minnesota 0-2. First quarter on 4th and inches. The Gophers stopped Pitt as Glenn DeVoe is stuffed at the 1-yard line. And Paul Hackett, the Pitt coach, is not pleased with that at all. Now the Gophers march back down the field, and I love this name, Bo. Markel Fleetwood goes in for the touchdown from 1 yard out, and Minnesota will grab the 7-0 lead. Remember last week they were drubbed in Boulder, 58-0. Pitt special teams tied it up. They blocked the punt by Minnesota, and Bill Davis scores from 13 yards away. That'll tie it at 7, and Minnesota has now gone ahead with a field goal. They lead Pitt by the score of 10-7, that game at halftime at the Metrodome. And we're going to be back with more, but first, let's take a look at some other scores on the ABC Sports Board.
Mistakes. In the case of Michigan, they had trouble defensively handling their offense, and at the same time, the offense gave them a couple of touchdowns and turned around and turned it over again when they were down in ready to score, stopped on a 4th and 1. You just can't do that, or you're going to end up with 51 points scored against you.
Control the football. That's what Michigan did against Notre Dame a few weeks ago. They look like a different team today against Florida State.
Well, they just couldn't run as consistently. It looked like they started out that way, that they were going to run that well, but later on, that Florida State front was just not going to let them control the ball.
That's got to be embarrassing, giving up 51 points at home.
Well, it is embarrassing, but Roger will get over it. And we'll come back to play again.
It might take a while, but you will get over it. Okay, now let's check out some of the early finishes and teams idle from the top 25 on this Saturday.
When I first saw Sarah on the library steps, I swear it skipped a beat. When Don Larson was 1 pitch away from a perfect game in the World Series, it stood perfectly still. On that awful day in '63, it felt like it was in the pit of my stomach. And that incredible moment when we all took 1 giant leap for mankind, it nearly burst with pride. But last year, when the doctors told me my heart was failing, and without a transplant I wouldn't last 6 months, that's when it stuck in my throat.
A year ago, the Prudential created the Living Needs Benefit. Now, the terminally ill could collect their death benefit while they were alive, and they could use it for anything their heart desired.
Now that I'm alive and well, I think of the donor. I think of his family, and naturally, my heart goes out to them.
For information, call 1-800-654-ROCK.
In the 100 years since Stanford opened, the people who've come here have realized one dream after another. In life-saving and life-enhancing technology, in scientific breakthroughs, big and small, in teaching humanities and humanitarianism, in helping to better our evolving world and expanding our definition of it. As Stanford celebrates its centennial, it salutes the people who've made it and the world both better by their being here.
Monday night, ABC Sports travels to our nation's capital to see quarterback Mark Rippon lead the undefeated Washington Redskins as they host Jim McMahon and the 3-1 Philadelphia Eagles in an NFC East showdown. It's all live Monday, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific on ABC's NFL Monday Night Football. And as we've reached the last Saturday in September, Bo, a lot of teams have 4 games under their belt. If we can take a look back now over the past month, what's been the biggest surprise for you in college football?
Well, I think from team standpoint, the Baylor Bears winning in Boulder, Grant Taft's maybe his best team ever, and the Syracuse Orangemen, Paul Pasqualoni winning a big game against Florida, and now he goes against Florida State next week. We'll find out how good they really are.
Other side of the coin, the biggest disappointment so far?
Well, the biggest disappointments would have to be Houston, and you'd have to say Michigan State, opening with 3 losses, and 51 points scored against Michigan in Ann Arbor.
What about the top players? Who do you like so far?
Well, I think Desmond Howard. I think he's done everything you could ask of a great player. And I would say otherwise, Steve Emtman, the great tackle from Washington, certainly from a defensive standpoint, has been outstanding.
I know you like those good defensive players. Been a lot of upsets so far this year. Which one's been the biggest?
Well, I think Central Michigan beating Michigan State would be the biggest upset.
That in East Lansing, too.
In East Lansing, right.
That was huge. Okay, that'll do it for right now. Enjoy the game you're watching, and we'll be talking to you later on this Saturday afternoon.
The Prudential Halftime Report has been brought to you by the Prudential. Come to the companies of the Prudential and build your future on the rock.
Welcome back to Stanford, California, where Stanford leads trails Colorado 14-7. We'll be back with the second half kickoff in just a minute.
Craft Caravan Incorporated. Are you having trouble getting an international operator? All Nations Forwarding. Are you having more trouble getting overseas faxes through on the first try? We want you back. AT&T Pro Watts. Competitive prices on international calls. Plus our new Favorite Nation 10% discount. Switch now and get 1 month of long distance free. We want you back. Call 1-800-222-0900.
Last year, the average price of a car with standard anti-lock brakes was over $40,000. But today, all that's changed. Because we understand the real value of safety. We've put anti-lock brakes standard on more models than anyone. Even on our least expensive Cavalier. Chevrolet. The heartbeat of America. The cars more people depend on.
That's today's Chevrolet.
Who's got the marketing plan? I do. Sales forecast?
Right here.
Presentation boards?
Murphy's got them.
Where's Murphy?
The final boarding call for Delta Flight 6.
Maddie Klein knows careers are riding on Delta flights.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes. Better go.
Nobody told me you had a cast.
Nobody knew.
Passengers should now be on board.
Maybe that's why more business people fly Delta than ever before.
Mr. Murphy, you have a nice trip.
Thanks. Already had one.
Delta, we love to fly and it shows.
At Thrifty Car Rental, we understand how therapeutic vacations can be. Getting away from the little power plays, reassessing your personal goals. So to help make your vacation a relaxing one, Thrifty offers an extensive choice of vehicles at some remarkably reasonable rates. Well, the last thing you need to be doing on vacation...
More ice, Mr. Gretzky?
Maybe later. ...is worrying about money.
ABC's College Football. Brought to you by Geo. Get to know Geo. Available right around the corner at your Chevrolet Geo dealers. And by UPS. Now offering 10:30 a.m. guaranteed overnight air delivery.
Welcome back to Stanford, California, where the Colorado Buffaloes lead the Stanford Cardinal 14-7. Look at the halftime statistics. Stanford's offense moving the ball very well, but 3 missed field goals add up to a 14-7 deficit.
Sure, they had 142 total yards. Colorado did in that second quarter. Only 25 in the first.
Eric Mitchell and Chris Hudson back to receive the kickoff from Aaron Mills. Coach Denny Green said that they had to score about 27, 28 points to win this ball game. They've got some catch-up to do. High kick, be shallow at the 7-yard line. That's Eric Mitchell. The speedster is stopped up at the 21.
Mitchell took the kickoff, stopped by
Twan Van Lee made the stop. Darian Hagan really asserted his senior leadership throughout the second quarter of that ball game. 91 yards passing in the first half. Defensively, Richardson, the leading tackler for the Stanford Cardinal. Hagan also returning a punt this afternoon. A lot of stamina for a quarterback to do that much. Warren and Hill are the backs. On 1st and 10, Hill with the carry. Got a couple of yards.
Stopped by George.
He's stopped up by Ron George. Ron George is an interesting story from Heidelberg, West Germany. Went to the Air Force Academy, didn't like it there, transferred here to Stanford, and a very, very intelligent football player. Speaks fluent German as well. Candidate for the World League, maybe. 2nd and 10. Warren. Lots of room on the outside. Warren moves down to the 38-yard line before being run out by Albert Richardson. 17-yard gain.
Gain of 17, as you mentioned, but the play was made by James Hill. Watch 33 there, the right of your screen. He throws the key block on Bowen Bryant. Bang. As soon as he gets him out of the way, there's nobody out there containing the play, and he takes it up for the big gainer.
Lamont Warren with a coming out party of sorts last week against Minnesota. Ran for 61 yards. Having a good afternoon today. Hagan with the handoff. Warren again up close to the 45.
You know, they talk about his speed, Warren. He's got a 4.3 speed in the 40-yard dash, high school All-American. He missed half his senior year in high school with a bad ankle. Now he played tailback, quarterback, wide receiver, defensive back, played all over the place. He scored 21 touchdowns his junior year and 30 his sophomore year. He was the LA Player of the Year.
2nd down and 5 for Colorado. The ball is on their own 44. Hagan keeps it himself. There's a flag on the play. He's short of the first down by about 3 yards. Coy Gibbs on the tackle. He's the son of Joe Gibbs.
Outstanding play by Gibbs that time, too. He had 9 tackles last week and caused the fumble. Played at DeMatha High School in Hyattsville, Maryland. That in itself was an upset. Joe Gibbs let him go there from over in Northern Virginia. It was more than an hour commute because of the program they have at DeMatha, both academically and athletically.
Offense, 10 yards from the spot of the foul. 2nd down.
You mentioned his dad's Joe Gibbs. His brother J.D. plays at William & Mary. He plays like a 235-pounder and much more mature than an 18-year-old. Actually, he's only 210. Plays bigger than he is.
Well, if genetics mean anything, he'll be a successful football player. Hagan back to pass on 2nd down. They set up the screen. And the Cardinal defense, led by a surge from Ron George and Dave Garnett, stop it up for a loss.
This is played so well, and I think the reason for it is it took so long to develop. You see the pressure coming up top, but they don't get the ball out to Warren quickly enough. What that does is allow the pursuit to come over. They could read the play quickly, and they made the play.
Dave Garnett playing with bone chips in his right thumb. He has a soft cast on his hand.
Yeah, he's been very limited because of that cast today.
3rd and 20. Looked like a broken play. Ron George again in on another Stanford tackle. And the Cardinal defense responds early in the third quarter. Mitch Berger into punt now. Lynn Milburn back on the return. Milburn still waiting to bust one. A high kick lands down at the 28, where Milburn calls for the fair catch. A 39-yard punt. Stay with us.
Getting to know you.
Well, we could have bought an expensive foreign car.
But we got the Geo Prism for a third of the cost.
It's so quiet that it doesn't sound like your car is actually running.
When I need it, it's there in the driveway, not in the mechanic shop.
The Prism is good for the environment because it's fuel efficient.
I got all of this in my Prism. Didn't have to rent a truck.
Getting to know you.
Cars of the future are like this.
Now's the time to get to know Geo Prism, right around the corner at your Chevrolet Geo dealers.
That Michael?
Yeah, starts college next year. How's mine?
Well, Mike told me the price of his first choice.
I know what you mean. I got this broker at Payne Weber. She put me in a zero coupon
To cover college.
Huh. Well, when did she do that? It's got to be 10, 11 years.
10 years ago? How did she know that's what you needed?
She asked.
Jordan drives and misses. Michael throws it away. Jordan falls. This is a nightmare.
You want to be sure of your game. You also want whole grain nutrition. Wheaties is made with 100% whole grain. These cereals are not. So if you want to rest a little easier, better get your whole grain.
You better eat your Wheaties.
Syracuse tackles Florida State. Michigan meets Big Ten rival Iowa, plus other regional action all next Saturday on ABC's College Football.
LA Law.
Well, Jason Columbus and the Stanford offense take over at their own 29-yard line. Columbus 9 of 17 for 158 in the first half, but he went through a severe cold streak there in the second quarter. Greg Beekert, leading tackler for Colorado. Lastly on the handoff, finds a seam off the left side and runs for about 9 yards. He's out close to a first down. Eric Hamilton and John Knutson made the tackle.
Ron Turner, the offensive coordinator, says he likes Lastly a lot. He says he's like a wild stallion. He can run. He's very, very dangerous, but only if he makes the right reads. That time he stayed right up behind his left guard and followed him until the very last second and then broke off his right hip.
Well, Lastly ran it far enough for the first down. It's 1st and 10. Columbus complete to Chris Walsh. He's run out of bounds by Ronnie Bradford. Well, big weekend here at the Stanford University campus. Martin Wyatt has one of the former athletes. Martin?
Hey, thanks, Tim. You know, this was once, of course, known as Quarterback U. You know, John Brody, Jim Plunkett, John Elway. This is the guy who started it all, the left-hander himself, Frankie Albert, Hall of Famer, who's really in 1941, along with Clark Shaughnessy, re-innovated college football with the T formation and took your team to the Rose Bowl. What are your thoughts when you look out there on the field and see the wide-open game that you helped bring about in college football?
Well, it does my heart proud, and this was the field where Clark Shaughnessy and his Stanford team in 1940 went 10-0, undefeated in 19...
And then went to that Rose Bowl and beat Ohio State. And I saw you riding...
No, Nebraska.
Beat Nebraska.
Yeah.
Okay, excuse me.
Now we both have one.
The left-hander having a good time. We're going to go back up to you, Tim and Mark.
Okay, Martin, there was a fumble on this snap in the exchange between Columbus and Kavanaugh, but Stanford pounced on the ball and got it back.
You know, they had a lot of trouble with this early in preseason because Kavanaugh was moved to center. It's the first time he's played it. His snaps were very slow coming up to Columbus, who was already pulling out. Now, this is the first time this year they've had somebody right on top of Kavanaugh. They're playing an odd man front. Steed's right on top of him, so that snap is not coming up quickly enough.
3 receivers out to the right. Handoff goes to Lastly. He's tripped up by Joel Steed and number 99, Leonard Renfro. Leonard Renfro is an interesting story. 6'5", 270-pound sophomore. He dropped weight to get stronger. He lost 15 pounds, and the coaching staff really speaks highly of him as well. One of their future stars on the defensive front.
Well, he was redshirted. Actually, it was a hardship year because he had a broken bone in his foot. He was just a sophomore. He's an NFL prospect.
3rd down and 5. Walsh comes in motion to the right. Complete to Milburn. Milburn goes inside the 35 down to the 33-yard line where Chris Hudson brings him down.
That's good for the first down.
That'll be a 1st down for the Cardinal.
Do you know that Stanford has not scored in the 3rd quarter all year?
Not a good statistic.
Got a good drive going here, though. They just have to play within themselves, just like they did there. Hudson was playing inside, so they sent Milburn outside, just outran him to the flats.
10 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. This is Stanford's first possession of the 2nd half. 3 receivers out to the left. Another fumble on the exchange.
Boy, I'm telling you, we talked about this with the coaches all day yesterday. They were very concerned about this. Ron Turner said Cavanaugh, who hadn't played center, was not getting the ball up fast. He was thinking about where he's going to make his block. Well, what happens with a guy as quick as Steed? He's around you just like that. See number 74? That's Cavanaugh. He's saying, hey, where'd Steed go? Where'd he go? He's already by him. You can't do that. You've got to first get the ball to the quarterback, then make your block.
Steed, a consensus All-American, the nose tackle from Colorado. 2nd down and 11 now. Ball is on the 35. Lastly and Milburn are the backs in the eye. A screen to Milburn. Chris Hudson came up and made the tackle. They read that screen very effectively.
Well, I guess so. You know what Hudson's doing? He's a mirror back. All he's doing is staying with Milburn wherever he goes. That's his job. As soon as Milburn comes out, jump him.
Third down now, 10 yards to go. Colorado brings in 6 defensive backs. Complete to John Pinckney. Pinckney making his first reception of the afternoon. He's tackled by Deion Figures. Ran to the wrong side that time. Deion Figures, their best man-to-man coverage player.
All right, you've missed 3 field goals on the day. You're in Colorado territory. It's going to be 4th down and long. Columbus is still on the field. Do you go for it, or do you know what the heck? Go for it, because you've missed 3 field goals. You're in their territory.
That's what they're doing.
Best they can do is get the ball on 3rd and 1. I mean, on the 31, 1st down.
4th down, 8 to go. Milburn and lastly the backs. He completes it to Chris Walsh. A big play by the Stanford offense. The most critical so far of the afternoon. 16 yards on the reception.
I'm going to tell you something. That's a big play. Columbus had thrown an interception on that exact play before. The number 2 receiver, number 80, is Walsh. He comes inside. He's working on the safety, Thomas, and the ball was perfectly thrown. That second receiver in is always the most dangerous because he's got more field to work with. And when he runs that little post pattern, that drag inside, you come underneath the 2 deep, and the ball was there.
Walsh has 4 receptions for 83 yards. 1st and 10. Lastly, lowers his head to gain about 2 yards.
Lastly, the ball carrier. Stopped by number 93.
Lastly and Vardell rotating in, both very hard runners. Joel Steed in on the tackle again for Colorado.
Interesting point is that speed is not all the things that a receiver needs. He also needs to be able to separate from defenders. Walsh works extremely hard to find an opening in the zone. He had 29 catches last year. Not really a big play threat, but he's a great possession receiver.
This is the 11th play of the Stanford drive. 2 receivers outright. Lastly again. Makes a move. Lastly, down to the 3-yard line, and a flag on the play.
It's going to be half the distance to the goal line, even if it's not flagrant. It was a late face mask, and it pulled him out of bounds. Watch this now. Okay, lastly, great cut to the backside. We talked about this earlier. Over pursuit by Colorado, cutback run. There's the face mask, the right hand, and then he throws him out of bounds with it. So the linen comes immediately. The yellow flags are out, half the distance to the goal. And here's the call.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, half the distance to the goal line, first and goal.
Well, Greg Thomas was the culprit on the face mask infraction. Lastly ran for 12 yards. They'll move it just a little closer. And Stanford now with an opportunity to tie the game.
With the penalty, moves the ball to the 1-yard line. First and goal to go.
Good time for touchdown, Tommy. He's not in the ball game, though.
No, but they've gone to their elephant formation, 3 tight ends.
They go to Lastly. Touchdown, Stanford.
Lastly for the touchdown. J.J. Lastly for the TD.
J.J. Lastly, the workhorse on this drive.
J.J. Lastly for the touchdown.
And he caps it off with a touchdown.
That's his second touchdown of the year. I think he was actually pushed into the end zone by a Colorado defender.
71 yards, 12 plays.
So Stanford now with a chance to tie the ball game up. No doubt on this one. They moved 12 plays, 71 yards, and the score stands 14-14.
Radio Shack, America's technology store.
Computer shopping has never been better at Radio Shack. Here's proof. Our new ultra-high-performance 386SX 20 megahertz computer with 85 megabyte hard drive, only $12.99. And it's from Tandy, manufacturer of the best-selling PC compatibles in America. Or get a 286-based Tandy home office computer with color monitor and hard drive, only $899.95. Shop your friendly nearby Radio Shack. Great selection, superior service. Nobody compares.
For the past 2 years, more hardworking truck owners switched to Chevy than to any other truck. And now Chevy full-size pickup is America's best-selling truck. Number 1, for one simple reason. They work.
The heartbeat of America.
Today's number 1 truck is Chevrolet.
Tonight, on the season premiere, is it freedom of the press?
You're lying about me. You know this ain't true.
Or are they framing Hickok?
That murderer don't deserve a trial.
And all-new Young Riders. Then, he's a loving husband and father, and the most unusual police commissioner a city's ever had.
Abso-freaking-lutely.
The premiere of The Commish. Following the season premiere of Young Riders tonight.
Colorado's first All-American in 1937 was Byron Whizzer White, who has also served on the U.S. Supreme Court since 1962, bringing order to the football field and to the court. Whizzer White. Well, Stanford moved downfield, 12 plays, 71 yards. The key play, a 16-yard reception by Walsh on 4th and 10. They tie the game up 14-all.
Mitchell, number 28, and Hudson, number 47.
Aaron Mills will kick it deep to Eric Mitchell, and Chris Hudson, who already has a touchdown this afternoon on an interception return.
Hill kicks off.
This is Hudson. Flag on the play. Hudson tackled at the 17-yard line.
Made the stop on Hudson. There's penalty markers down.
Flag is back at the 13.
It's going to be a clip against Christian Fourier
Number 45,
of Colorado.
Also in on the stop.
Clipping during the return. Penalty half. half the distance from the goal line. First down.
So they'll march it back a few yards, and Colorado will start 1st and 10 on their own 8-yard line. Denny Green's offense, his defense rather, played reasonably well, maybe beyond expectations for a real patchwork job of athletes this afternoon. What a toss by Darian Hagan to Lamont Warren. Let's go to New York and Roger Twibell for an update.
Well, Mark, Indiana at Missouri, controversial ending. Tigers trail by 2 with 14 seconds to go, going for the 2-point conversion after the touchdown. And Phil Johnston, does he get in? Look at the left knee. Was the ball across? You make the call. The officials said it was good. Final, Indiana 27, Missouri 27. Let's go back to Mark.
Okay, Roger, what is it with Missouri and controversial finishes anyway? Last year they had one against Colorado with the now infamous 5th down play. 2nd and 3 for the Buffaloes. Lamont Warren stopped by Tyrone Parker.
You know, Tyrone Parker was an offensive lineman. Because of all the injuries on defense, they just moved him over this past week. Coach Green calls him a real man. Says he loves this guy. Wild-eyed junior from Brooklyn. Look at him just penetrate, come through. Boy, he replaces Esteban Avila, who had knee surgery. And Parker is really standing up and taking the challenge today and playing well. He's got 4 tackles, including that one.
3rd down and 4. Henry in motion. Hagan throws incomplete over the middle for Sean Embry. And the Stanford defense responds again.
Hagan trying out the play for Embry, incomplete. Berger will kick. Milburn is deep for Stanford.
Mitch Berger comes in. And he'll kick to Glenn Milburn. End over end kick. They get a good bounce out to midfield at the 50. Well, Stanford with a good field position, a 36-yard punt. Stay with us.
To an engineer, Chevy Lumina APV is corrosion-proof polyurea body panels, molded Velusta Cup resilience, modular seating for 7,
Join us? Yay!
computer-modulated anti-lock brakes. But to a mom, the Chevy Lumina APV
Okay?
is a lot of innovation that makes her life
You guys did great.
a lot easier. No wonder more people depend on
The
it.
heartbeat of America.
And now it's easy to win with the heartbeat.
When I first saw Sarah on the library steps, I swear it skipped a beat. When Don Larson was 1 pitch away from a perfect game in the World Series, it stood perfectly still. On that awful day in '63, it felt like it was in the pit of my stomach. And that incredible moment when we all took one giant leap for mankind, it nearly burst with pride. But last year, when the doctors told me my heart was failing, and without a transplant I wouldn't last 6 months, that's when it stuck in my throat.
A year ago, the Prudential created the Living Needs Benefit. Now, the terminally ill could collect their death benefit while they were alive, and they could use it for anything their heart desired.
Now that I'm alive and well, I think of the donor. I think of his family, and naturally, my heart goes out to them.
For information, call 1-800-654-ROCK.
0944.
You're looking at Tommy Vardell, and part of the reason why we may not have seen him on that short yardage touchdown situation is because he is suffering from dehydration. He is expected to come back into the ballgame.
The attendance today, 57,000.
Monday night, it's Philadelphia against Washington. Jim McMahon maybe surprising his critics after being written off. That starts 9 o'clock Eastern time on ABC. 1st and 10. Near midfield, Stanford with the ball. J.J. Lastly is the lone back. Lastly with a gain of about 4.
Lastly, the ball carrier. by Hamilton.
Eric Hamilton with the tackle on that play. Interesting story with Hamilton. He went home to California, Los Angeles specifically last year during the spring break. And he came out of a basketball game, was standing on the street corner, and was the victim of a drive-by shooting. The interesting point is that the bullet is still lodged deep in his rib cage. And he is able to play football. Says that the whole experience has made him a more dedicated athlete. Very fortunate to be alive. 2nd down and 7. Columbus fires incomplete for the tight end Ryan Wetnight.
Willie Shaw is the defensive coordinator for Stanford, sitting there chewing the fat with him yesterday. He said if this game is close in the middle of the 3rd quarter, the underdog has a great shot at winning. He says it's always that way. Case in point, last year, Stanford and Notre Dame. He said it was close in the middle of the 3rd. All of a sudden, the players started believing they could beat Notre Dame, and the team that was supposed to win got tight. He says if this one is close in the middle of the 3rd, Stanford will win it. Right now, it's tied, 14-14.
We have 4 receivers, 2 on each side, 1 back. Columbus. He was pressured on the play. The pass is incomplete. Joel Steed with the hit. Columbus sent out 4 receivers, but never had a chance to throw the ball.
You know, Steed had a virus last spring. He lost 35 pounds. Fortunately, they found out what was causing it. They got rid of the virus, and he's back up to about 270.
Paul Stonehouse now will punt it away to the part-time punt returner, Darian Hagan, part-time quarterback. A high kick, and Hagan will let it go into the end zone. 46-yard punt. Nothing on the return. Colorado will start things off on the 20-yard line. At the conclusion of today's game, we'll be selecting a Chevrolet Most Valuable Player of the Game from each team. And for the 21st year, the Chevrolet Scholarship Program, $1,000 will be donated to the General Scholarship Fund of each school.
First and 10 for Colorado on their own 20.
1st down and 10. Hill and Call are the backs. This is Call, who's been quiet this afternoon.
Call the ball carrier. By Dan Byers, number 55.
Danny Byers was not even on the 2-deep depth chart when we came into this ball game. And then just prior to the game, we were told by the folks from Stanford that Danny Byers, the linebacker, would start. Boy, that time he just stayed at home, didn't outrun the play, waited for the cutback, and when he came back inside, Danny Byers just bent his knees and, I mean, leveled the ball carrier.
That's his 4th tackle of the afternoon. 2nd down. Call. Running outside this time.
Call the ball carrier.
Coy Gibbs making the tackle. Ball marked just short of the 25.
That was a 5-yard pickup on the play.
Will set up a 3rd and 6 for Colorado. Kent Call, one of the highly touted players out of the state of Colorado just 2 years ago.
Great block on that last play by Jim Hansen, the right tackle.
Henry in motion. That is why Darian Hagan is considered one of the most dangerous players in all of college football. 14 yards on that scamper.
And again, it was big old 77 Jim Hansen who escorted him out there. See him at the top of your screen, right in the middle. Watch, he already extends the play. Now he'll get another block right here. He got 2 on the same play. There's a guy that likes splitting atoms as much as he does playing football. First academic All-American at Colorado since 1987. Rhodes Scholar candidate.
1st and 10 now for the Buffaloes. Hagan faked the toss, kept it himself for a gain of close to 1 yard. Dave Garnett with the tackle.
How about this? Minnesota. But I tell you what, this is the 3rd time this week the Red Sox have not been able to take advantage. Toronto was idle, and Boston goes against Baltimore earlier this week and split a double-header.
As of now, the lead stands at 4 games for the Blue Jays. Cedal Gaston back, I might mention.
Well, you've been talking about Hagan, and you mentioned that he had a tryout with Seattle. He was originally drafted by the Toronto Blue Jays as a shortstop.
Hagan with the pitch. This is Warren. Horn lowers his head and gets out over the 45. Darian Gordon made the stop.
Bad decision by number 8. See him down there at the bottom of your right, Richardson. Albert Richardson had outside containment. And when the blocker came, he went to the left, the inside of the blocker, rather than keeping everything forced back inside.
6 yards.
Once he got outside, he picked up the 6.
It's 3rd and 4, 2:04 to go in the 3rd quarter. The game is tied 14-14. Hagan looking deep. He's got a man. Incomplete, intended for Rico Smith.
And Rico wanted interference, and I think he should have had it. You know why? Because neither one of the defenders looked back for the ball. Lynch is the safety. Number 21 is Gordon. Now look at the defenders. Neither one of them looking for the ball. Here comes Smith. There's the contact by Gordon. That is interference. No call made. Stanford gets a break.
Catchable ball, Tim?
It was catchable, and it was interference anyway. How can you say it was catchable? They were holding Smith back. He couldn't even catch up to the ball.
Well, Smith's complaint falls on deaf ears. Berger into punt. There's a flag on the play. A terrible kick by Berger.
Yeah, Twan Van Lee, the outside man for Stanford, just came across the line way too quickly. So this will be a penalty against Stanford and should give Colorado enough for the first.
An egregious error if it does go against Stanford.
Watch the bottom of your screen, 24. That's Twan Lee right there. Twan Van Lee just came across too quickly.
We'll wait for the call.
Hey, they're taking a long time to make this call.
We've got to make sure.
Offside. Defense. Illegal procedure. Offset. Penalties. Offset.
Oh, what a break for Stanford. What a break. You know, when it took that long for them to make the call, you know something was up. You know there was maybe an infraction on the other side. There was. They're offsetting. Watch the center of your screen. That's Leuenberg. See his shoulders, see his hips. Yeah, a little feint there. Gave him a little fake.
Offsetting penalty.
So it was against Leuenberg.
That was a 27-yard punt, so Colorado gets an opportunity to kick it again.
Leuenberg, how good he is. You know, his dad played here at Stanford.
One that got away. Berger with a better kick this time, straight to Milburn at the 16. Nowhere to go, though. A 38-yard punt by Berger, 4 yards on the return. Ronnie Bradford made the tackle on him.
Walking to the stadium this morning, if I had said with 1:42 remaining in the 3rd quarter as we get ready to go into the 4th, the game would be tied 14-14, I know you would have looked at me and said I was crazy.
You're right.
I don't think anybody expected this.
Well, Denny Green said he needed 28 points to win this ball game. May not get 28, but regardless, they're in it.
I'm starting to believe Willie Shaw's theory now. If you're with the heavy favorite as the game gets later and later, it's the favorite that starts to get tight.
It's 1st and 10. And it's batted down by Renfro. Let's go to New York for an update.
Thank you very much, Mark. Pitt at Minnesota. The Panthers came into this game 3-0. And watch this running effort by true freshman Curtis Martin, who is from Pittsburgh. Great effort, outruns everybody to the end zone, 36 yards and a touchdown, and Pitt goes up on top over Minnesota, 14-10 in the 3rd quarter. Let's go back to Mark.
Well, Roger, with 1:38 to play in the 3rd quarter here, Colorado and Stanford tied at 14. The Cardinals hanging in defensively, maybe playing a bit over their heads defensively. A reverse.
No,
Roger Bowden is sacked for a loss by Ron Woolfolk. Woolfolk reading a play, staying home. A loss of 11 yards on the play.
It just took too long to develop, and Woolfolk is exactly right. He just had outside. He just waited, looked for anything coming back his way. That's his assignment here. The play takes so long to develop. I mean, look at this. Here comes Bowden. Bowden's supposed to be so fast, but it took so long to get him the ball, he had to belly deep, and Woolfolk was there.
It's 3rd and a long 21 yards. Colorado brings in their nickel package. You see the time remaining in the third quarter. Cross field to Vardell. Vardell met by a lot of traffic at the 17-yard line. Renfro making another tackle.
Late flags coming in, too.
Renfro made the stop, number 99. The penalty marker down.
Almost get back to the original line of scrimmage. But the clipping against Stanford will move them back.
They're really digging themselves a hole.
Offense. Penalty is declined. 4th down.
Well, Denny Green's had a tough go of it. Here he is in his 3rd year, 8-16, trying to turn the corner. He succeeded Jack Elway. He's trying to get this program in motion.
Depth being the key there.
Finished so strongly last year with 3 straight wins over bowl teams.
House kicking Darian Hagan back deep. Hagan yet to return one for a touchdown this year, but he's come close. A high kick. Hagan will get a chance to return it. Sidesteps a couple of tacklers and tripped up at the 50. He lands at the 49. A 41-yard punt and a 7-yard return. John Lynch, backup strong safety, making the tackle. So with 14 seconds to go in the third quarter, it's a tie ball game, 14-all. As Stanford University celebrates its 100th anniversary. Good time down here on the farm this weekend. Henry goes in motion. Hagan tosses it late to Warren.
He had to be down, wasn't he? Wasn't his knee down?
He's a wizard in that wishbone, that eye bone. Albert Richardson forced the play.
I can't believe that.
His knee may have been down, though, Tim.
Well, they didn't call it, so it doesn't matter. That play is magical. Watch this. Here he is. Gets a good play on the outside. Now watch his knee. See, his knee was on the ground. He had to be down. Come on, guys.
2nd and 6. Hagan almost tripped up. Colorado having trouble hanging on to the ball. A poor toss by Hagan. Warren corralled it and then lost it again. We'll return with more action after this.
Every business morning, while the rest of the world is getting up, UPS is guaranteeing overnight delivery before 10:30 for far less than other companies charge. And every business morning, more people are waking up to that fact.
Good morning.
Morning.
Of all the trucks in its class, only Chevy 4-door S10 Blazer gives you 4-wheel anti-lock brakes, standard, which helps you steer through a curve while braking. Without it, you don't have as much control. And why should that be important to you? Because in the real world, safety doesn't have to be an option. Chevy S10 Blazer.
The heartbeat of America. Today's truck is Chevrolet.
The inspiring story of Dave Dravecki, the star pitcher who lost his arm. Find out what courage really means.
On 2020 Friday.
I hate to travel. I always sit next to the guy who wants to talk to me the whole way. I mean, eventually he starts forming words. I thought maybe if I made better use of my time, I wouldn't have to travel so much. So I got some help from US West. I got the Yellow Pages, cellular phone, pager. Now I can spend more time doing the things I want to do. Like talk to my girlfriend.
Hi, honey, it's Jake. I'm back.
I should have called sooner.
US West, making the most of your time.
Everybody knows that milk's for babies.
Milk for bright baby smiles. Milk for soft baby skin. Milk for strong baby bones.
And baby milks for you.
Colorado loves their coach. Tuesday on Channel 9.
Welcome back, everyone, at Stanford, California. I'm joined now by former Secretary of State George Shultz and Canadian Prime Minister Brian Mulroney. Mr. Mulroney, we'll start with you. What brings you to Stanford?
I'm here for the 100th anniversary of the Stanford Convocation tomorrow, and I've accepted an invitation from my old friend Secretary Shultz to come to the game this afternoon. I'm enjoying it a great deal.
And Mr. Shultz,
the keynote speaker tomorrow.
What do you think of the old alma mater so far?
Great. We've outplayed Colorado. Should be ahead 14-7 or maybe 17-7. We gave one touchdown away and missed an easy field goal, but we've been playing well.
Now back down to the field. Hagan scrambling. Incomplete for Henry.
You can just feel the momentum changing. Boy, it's fun to see the Prime Minister and George Shultz here. Of course, the Prime Minister's getting ready for that first World Series in Canada. Here it is again. Watch the play now. The pressure makes this play work for the defense, but then you get a tremendous play in the secondary. Watch this. Lynch comes over and just knocks it away. That's Gordon. Knocked it away at the last second.
Colorado will punt it away. Milburn back deep. Calling for the fair catch.
Fair catch by Milburn.
Colorado will start things off after the 34-yard punt, nothing on the return. Stay with us.
There's a first time for everything. Your first love, first kiss, first date, first job, and your first new car. For more people, that first new car is Chevy Cavalier. A simple, solid value that'll get you through the changes until the next first time. The cars more people depend on. And now it's easy to win with the heartbeat.
Oil. It's the lifeblood of your engine. That makes your oil filter your engine's most vital organ. That's why Fram keeps going the extra mile to make the best protection even better. Introducing the new Fram Extra Guard. New glass fiber paper stops more dirt than any other filter for the best protection ever. The new Fram Extra Guard. American or import, it's an extra lease on life.
The Rothmans' brand new family room is there because a State Farm agent was there with a family insurance checkup. You see, State Farm agents keep in touch to help keep your car, your home, and your life insurance up to date. Just a month after we added more coverage on the Rothmans' home and its contents, it was devastated by a fire. But thanks to our checkup, the coverage was there, and for the Rothmans, it made all the difference.
And like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
NFL powers collide. The Philadelphia Eagles tackle their division rivals, the undefeated Washington Redskins, this week on ABC's Monday Night Football.
Well, Jason Columbus will start things for Stanford on their own 17-yard line. It's 1st and 10. The score tied at 14 apiece. We've just started the fourth quarter. Columbus, a good afternoon through the air, 206 yards. Milburn and Vardell are the running backs. They've got two receivers out to the left. This is Milburn. Cuts it up inside. Milburn could go. Lynn Milburn goes 55 yards before he's pushed out of bounds by Ronnie Bradford, exploding in the face of Colorado.
Picked his hole left side following Whitfield and Cassidy. They stuck with their blocks. Now he throws it into another gear right here and outruns the linebacker. That is a special gift that only very few running backs have, where they can just take it another level and accelerate like that.
55-yard run by
Bradford almost got a late hit out of bounds. You see him throw that right arm? Pretty impressive stat. 7 carries, 97 yards.
And it brings the crowd to its feet. 1st and 10. Vardell inside the 25 down to the 24-yard line.
When's the last time you saw a running back average almost 14 yards a carry in a game?
And look what happens to Stanford with and without Milburn in the lineup.
Well, he's in the lineup, but when he goes over 100 yards, they don't lose very often when he gets that.
Lynn Milburn has been used very judiciously by head coach Denny Green this afternoon. Said that Milburn was only at about 85%. Vardell takes it down inside the 20-yard line.
All right, now look at these, and I want you to immediately go down to the passing yards. For Stanford, 206 passing yards, 87 for Colorado, and thus far that's been the difference. But what that has done is open the running game, so the few times that, say, for instance, Milburn's carried it, 7 carries, it's wide open for him. Anytime you can have success passing, it's going to loosen things up for the run.
3rd down, 2 yards to go. The ball on the 20. They run it again to their man, Vardell. Touchdown, Stanford. Vardell, with a bolt of speed, takes it in for the major.
Boy, I'm starting to like the Willie Shaw theory. Great cut outside by touchdown Tommy, and he takes it and watch him lunge for the pylon. He knows he's got a shot at the touchdown, goes for the pylon, and gets in.
Usually a short yardage guy, but this time he took it 20 yards for the score.
We told you the coaches wanted to get him out of that short yardage syndrome and start using him more in the open field. He's proven that he's got that kind of ability.
And Aaron Mills with the point after. Stanford goes up 21-14.
One athlete, many events. The energy to challenge not just one, but all limits. At Texaco, we share that energy in all that we do. The energy to create innovative products like System 3 gasoline. The energy to lead the way in exploration, conservation, alternate energy. The energy to go as far as we can, and then go even further.
For the past 2 years, more hardworking truck owners switched to Chevy than to any other truck. And now Chevy full-size pickup is America's best-selling truck. Number 1, for one simple reason. They work.
The heartbeat of America. Chevrolet.
Today's number 1 truck is Chevrolet.
Jerry comes in every Saturday. Last week he wants copper pipe and solder. Now I know Jerry, so I say don't forget to shine the joints before you flux. And he says flux, so I told him to call me if he hit a snag. I think he called 11 times.
Good service is why people choose a place like Evers Hardware Store, and why places like Evers Hardware choose USF&G Insurance and their independent agents.
USF&G is standing behind me.
Well, Tommy Vardell caps off a 4-play, 83-yard drive with a 20-yard scamper into the end zone.
Watch him get to the corner, though. See the block, and then he cuts it outside. Now he knows he doesn't have the speed that this secondary has. I mean, there's Hamilton chasing him down number 6, so he lunges for the pylon and just barely gets in. Great run by Tommy Vardell.
Well, that was his 27th touchdown in his career. He now stands 6th on the all-time Stanford list.
He's got 2 of those today. Had 14 last year.
Charles Johnson will receive the kick for Colorado. This is Johnson. Nowhere to go.
Johnson, number 9, stopped by Mark Twain, number 53. Also number 35.
So Darian Hagan now will start things off at the Colorado 17-yard line. They've got work to do with 13:03 to play. They trail by a touchdown.
Colorado passing. Now, they average 184 yards passing a game. Today, they've only gotten 87.
Henry goes in motion. They fumble the snap. Hagen made the recovery for Colorado.
Wonder how much of that is due to Leuenberg. You know, he broke his hand Tuesday. We said he's snapping left-handed, and he's doing that for the first time ever. Darian Hagen can throw the ball with both hands, so he says, hey, just snap it left-handed. So he's trying that today with the cast on his right hand, and we've seen 2 bad exchanges today.
It's 2nd and 11 now for Colorado. Hagen sacked back at the 4. Byers making yet another tackle this afternoon. Ron George was there to assist him.
Yeah, but he got support for another guy that we've been talking about a lot today. Number Parker, number 60. Look at him making the pressure. He's already forcing Hagen out of there, and then the outside guys clean up. George and Byers, but Parker is the guy. He was an offensive player until just this past week, and Hagen is shaken up.
And he is favoring his right knee, his left knee, pardon me.
Don't forget, he had knee surgery January 2nd, torn tendon, hurt it in the Orange Bowl in the first half against Notre Dame. They didn't think he would be back this quickly, but he had a quick rehab. We hope that's not the same knee, or that's the problem here, but you hate to see that. He's such a talented player.
We'll try and get Martin with a report on Hagen's injury. That sack, by the way, was Stanford's first sack of the season.
Don't be fooled, though. Vance Joseph can play.
Joseph hands it off to Lamont Warren, and this Stanford defense is fired up.
Well, it's going to fall on his shoulders now, Vance Joseph. He's a 5'10 sophomore. He does play some. He played in the Orange Bowl. His brother Mickey's a quarterback in Nebraska. He is a talent, but he's not a Darian Hagen.
Well, Glenn Milburn is back to get the kickoff from Mitch Berger. Milburn had a 55-yard run just moments ago to set up the score. This is a high kick. Milburn calls for the fair catch at the 47-yard line. Stanford leads it by a touchdown.
Getting to know you.
I drove literally every car in the same class. It boiled down to, I wanted a Geostorm.
Guys like a girl that knows how to drive a stick.
There's 140 horses in here. Can you... Hello? Horses.
The cockpit's laid out like a jet.
You don't have to be a race car driver to drive a Storm, but you sure feel like one.
Getting to know you.
If this car had wings, it would fly.
Now's the time to get to know Geostorm, right around the corner at your Chevrolet Geo dealers.
I used to have dandruff, so I tried Head & Shoulders. Then I tried Selsun Blue. Blue is better.
Selsun Blue relieves dandruff flaking better than Head & Shoulders, and doctors recommend it more than Head & Shoulders, Denorex, and Tegrin.
Blue is better.
Selsun Blue.
This is not what you want in a shave. Now you've got the edge with 6 rich lubricants for less irritation. You've got the edge.
I don't want gimmicks. I want just a company I can count on.
You know, we're going to see this dramatic drop in our phone bill, and we didn't.
And it was just like a hassle figuring out both bills, both sets, and so we just said, hey, you know, we just scrapped it.
The service wasn't there, so I went to AT&T and stayed with AT&T.
And I've been happy with them ever since, and it's just been great.
Get back the service and value you deserve. Come back to AT&T now for free.
Stanford's all-time leading passer is John Elway, who displayed the raw talent and scrambling ability that would later help the Broncos reach the Super Bowl 3 times. He's as elusive now as he was then. John Elway, Stanford University. And there's a look at Darian Hagen, who was injured just moments ago.
That, Mark, has become a huge story here. He felt the pop. He's in a lot of pain.
And it's 1st and 10, Stanford on the 47. Vardell makes it out close to the 45. Greg Biekert on the tackle. Now let's go downstairs for an update on that injury.
Yeah, Tim, I just talked to Darren just a second ago. He said he felt it pop. He's in a lot of pain right now. He wants to go back in, but he says they're holding him out so he's not going to be back in the game. They're putting some ice on it right now. He's in a lot of pain right now, but he says he felt it pop on that tackle back down near the end zone.
All right, the next thing we have to find out if it's that same injury, because if it is, that is really, really serious. Not only in this game, but nationwide, that's a huge story.
Vance Joseph takes over. This is Glenn Milburn. Out to the 42-yard of Colorado. Greg Beaker making the tackle. Tim, if you're Denny Green, what do you do right now in terms of your offensive strategy? You're leading by 7, 10 minutes to go.
Do not change a thing, Mark. You continue to do what really has been going well for you here in the second half. You don't sit on it and get conservative. You keep the same attack going.
It's 3rd and 5. Stanford has been running the ball very well this afternoon. 80 yards above their average to date this season. And Jason Columbus calls timeout.
Mark, the word from the sideline is that when Darian felt it pop, it is not in the same spot of the tendon that he tore in the Orange Bowl. So it is a different injury.
That would be very unfortunate for both Hagan and the Buffaloes if he is unable to continue, and if that injury is serious. Of course, we don't want to speculate, but Hagan spent a long time with arduous rehabilitation on that knee. He did not go home to Los Angeles this summer. He stayed in Colorado and worked on it. Actually worked at Pasta J's restaurant bussing tables.
Did you see that baseball score? Major swing. Atlanta wins again, and the Dodgers are losing. So the Braves could pick up some ground in the West. But look at this. Boston loses another opportunity against Toronto.
Well, let's take a look back at the scoring today, how we got to this point. 21-14. Vardell with a 1-yard touchdown run in the first quarter put Stanford up by a touchdown. They marched it downfield on the opening possession. Colorado tied it up on a 40-yard touchdown interception. Michael Westbrook with a catch made it 14-7 for the Buffaloes. Then J.J. Lastly punched it over from 1 yard out to tie it up. And Tommy Vardell showing some speed, scoring from 20 yards out.
All right, with Stanford leading by 7, 10 minutes remaining in the ball game, and Hagan out, you've got to start seriously thinking about a major upset here.
Stanford comes out of the timeout. Columbus barking out the signals. He dumps it off to Vardell. Vardell gets inside the 25 down to the 23-yard line before Greg Beaker tripped him up. Tommy Vardell with an 18-yard reception.
This is what experience does for you. A 3-year starter. Columbus stepped up in the pocket, didn't worry about the rush, found his Iceman, his secondary receiver, which was Vardell in the flat. Boy, he almost, and I mean almost, outran Beaker.
I've really been impressed by Vardell's speed in the open field this afternoon.
He had a 75-yard touchdown called back last week. Once he gets out there, he can move.
He's caught 4 passes for 94 yards this afternoon. 1st and 10, Stanford. There he is again. Lowering his head inside the 20 down to the 17. Where Ron Woolfork wrapped him up.
He's going to need a breather in a minute. He was dehydrated earlier, had to go out of the game for a while they replenished the fluids, and he caught his breath.
And we see Darian Hagan on the sidelines trying to move around, testing out that injury that he suffered moments ago to his left knee.
Well, let's hope this. Let's hope when he heard the pop, it scared him more than the injury itself, that it's not as serious as they once believed.
That's a good point. Sometimes it actually sounds worse than it really is. And if you haven't been hurt a lot, you don't know how to react. Vardell. Down to the 15. We'll set up 3rd and short.
Navy goes to 0-4. You know, I've had my knee scoped several times, and what you do is you rebuild it, but you build up scar tissue, adhesions. It could be one of those old scar tissues or adhesions popping and not be as serious as they once thought. He won't go back in, though, that's for sure. And right now, he'll probably even go into the locker room.
So Vance Joseph will have to be the man to step up the Colorado offense and move the team downfield. But right now, they have to worry about getting the ball back. There's 8:30 to play. They trail 21-14. Lastly and Milburn are the running backs. They've got 3 receivers. Milburn cuts it up inside the 10 down to the 8-yard line. Leonard Renfro on the tackle and a fumble. Colorado is signaling they have the ball, but we'll have to wait for the official word from the official.
Well, Colorado's already changed their offense to defense and vice versa, and now the official says it is Colorado football. How about that?
We have a player down on the play. Greg Bikert wincing in pain.
Covered by number 27, Craig Thomas.
There you see the fumble. It came loose when he hit the ground.
Yeah, you cannot tell from this angle whether the ground caused the fumble, because if that's the case, it shouldn't be a turnover.
Well, it's prime time now for Vance Joseph. He's the new quarterback. Loaded backfield for Colorado. A handoff to Warren, and he coughs it up. Stanford recovers the ball. Albert Richardson pounced on it.
You wonder if the defense will change its gears. They were so geared up to stop Hagen, and now Joseph comes in. All right, so they give the ball straight ahead, and all of a sudden Warren pops it loose right there. He was stripped from behind. Great play by Mike Jarris, the left tackle, 66, got the ball, stripped it free, and Richardson made the recovery.
So following consecutive fumbles, Stanford regains field position at the Colorado 15-yard line. It's first down and 10. Vardell and Milburn are split. Touchdown, Tommy takes it to the 10-yard line. Dett makes the tackle. Look at Greg Biekert on the sideline, working on his hamstring. In this kind of weather, in these weather conditions, we've heard about Vardell being dehydrated. Biekert could be suffering from a cramp as well in his hamstring.
The 4-yard pickup on a play, 2nd and 6.
Clock now becomes a major factor. 7.5 minutes remaining in the ball game.
2 tight ends in for Stanford. Vardell spins off a tackle, breaks his way inside the 10, down to the 7.
Colorado brought 70 players to Stanford. And you heard the report earlier where the players were saying and the coaches were saying, we've got the people they don't. We've got depth. We've got more players. To me right now, it looks like Colorado's the one sucking wins.
You wouldn't expect that from a team that has played 3 consecutive games at home in altitude in Colorado.
No, but that'll happen when you're chasing a lot. They've been chasing Milburn and Vardell half the afternoon.
Vardell has been a portrait of resilience this afternoon. 3rd down and 2. Who else? Who else? Vardell goes 7 yards for the touchdown, and Stanford goes up 13 points.
Why do they call him Touchdown Tommy? He had 14 touchdowns last year. Came into this game with 3. He's got 3 more today. Great trap blocking upstairs. Kavanaugh shuts off the linebacker. And here comes Touchdown Tommy Vardell.
Point after is good. And Stanford leads 28-14. Vardell with his 23rd career touchdown. Well, we've got a great schedule of college football here on ABC. Join us next Saturday when ABC's college football brings you the country's top teams in regional action. Michigan coming off a loss to Florida State. We've got California, UCLA, Wyoming Air Force, which is the game we will be at.
Air Force was losing to BYU big earlier. That would be BYU's first win, wouldn't it?
It sure would be. Ty Detmer has been jinxed since winning that Heisman Trophy.
There's Wyoming, how they did today against UTEP.
Well, what a way for Stanford to celebrate their 100th anniversary. School just began this week. Classes commencing, and what better to come and watch a football game where the home team wins.
Denny Green said he wanted to hold on to the ball, control it. How about this? Time of possession in favor of Stanford by about 13 minutes.
Hudson takes it. He's got a seam to the right side.
Kick was taken by Hudson.
Up close to midfield. He's pushed out of bounds at the 45. Vance Joseph has 6 minutes and 30 seconds remaining to rally his team that trails by 2 touchdowns.
That's a familiar number, isn't it? That number 1 in Boulder. Joseph used to wear number 16, but when Eric Bieniemy, the great one, finished playing last year, Joseph grabbed his number 1. He says, I want to take this number and I want to make it proud. Keep that tradition going. He's got an opportunity now, but time's running short.
Joseph completes it down to the 45-yard line. Rico Smith making the grab.
Well, I want to tell you, Joseph put that one right on a rope.
An 11-yard reception by Smith.
Strong arm. And told you his brother, Mickey, is the quarterback in Nebraska. Both of them have very strong, accurate arms. Both of them are very quick.
Colorado now with the hurry-up offense. 6:20 remaining. Henry is out wide to the right.
Look at this.
Joseph eludes 4 tacklers. Boy, he's been studying Darian Hagan a little bit, hasn't he? Looked like Hagan on that run.
Oh, I told you he's quick. He's got great feet. The only thing he lacks is experience. Got him in the hurry-up offense now.
It's 2nd down, 1 to go. He's got a man downfield, but he tucks it under himself. Brought down to the 33 this time by Tyrone Parker and Dan Byers.
But you know what he did? He got enough for the first down, so the clock stops while they move the chains. 5:43 left. They'll move the chains, start the clock, and he'll have them up to the line of scrimmage.
And that's good for the first down. It's 1st and 10 for Colorado.
There you go. Clock starts. He's got him up.
Good coverage in the secondary. And Joseph tucks it under again, goes down to the 28-yard line. But Ron George was just leveled by one of the Colorado offensive linemen.
Yeah, and Aaron Rembus is a little bit shaken up. And here we ought to talk about Tyrone Parker. There's Rembus shaken up on the play. Parker has made the switch from offensive line to defensive line today, and he has really, really played well. But that last one showed his inexperience on defense. He came in, had the pressure, had good inside-out leverage on Joseph, but then when Joseph pumped, he left his feet. Parker jumped up in the air. You cannot do that. Joseph very wisely just pulled it down and ran around him like he was a stiff.
I'd make a bet that Parker would see a little action next time out on defense.
No question about it, but he's got to learn not to leave his feet. He's got 5 tackles this afternoon. Impressive performance.
2nd and 5 as Aaron Rembus is still being helped off the field. They can ill afford to suffer another injury to one of their defensive players.
Absolutely. You know, Jason Fisk didn't play today because he's got a bruised shoulder. Rembus started. Parker was in the middle. Really thin defensively.
2nd down. Joseph to pass. Nobody in the area. He underthrew Mark Henry.
Pass incomplete.
Vaughn Bryant providing the coverage in the secondary. There's 5:04 to play.
Ron George, number 29 for Stanford. I mean, he gets rolled up by 4 guys on the right of your screen. See him down there? 3 guys hit him. Joseph didn't realize he had that hole outside because George was down. Rushed his throw, threw poorly. I mean, George took a good old-fashioned licking that time.
The second one this series. 3rd down, 5 to go. All day to throw. And it's short of Henry. Sean Embry was the intended receiver.
By Lynch, number 17.
Well,
Fourth
you're going to
down
have
now,
to
you got to go for it.
Absolutely, because now you're under 5 minutes to play. All right, and you're trailing 28 to 14. It's the only decision to make.
Colorado this afternoon 1 for 4 on their 3rd down conversions.
I'll tell you this, if they don't get this first, this game's over.
This one the most critical of the afternoon. Joseph complete for the first down to the 22-yard line. Mark Henry going to his knees to corral the ball.
They say Henry is the most sure-handed receiver they have. He came into this game with 7 catches. Watch this one. It's not a well-thrown ball. It's low. He goes down on his knees to cradle it in. And the whole time he knew where that stake was right there and got the first.
Stanford 22.
Colorado's still alive, barely.
4:40 to play. Joseph into the end zone, out of bounds. Rico Smith was the intended receiver there, but no, really not even close.
All right, Mark, now let's talk about the first down they just got. Colorado now, because of that first, does not have to rush things. 4:29 remaining. That's plenty of time now that they got the first. They have all their timeouts remaining. They're in scoring position. They get this touchdown, then they only trail by a touchdown with 4 minutes left in the ball game. That's plenty of time, so they cannot panic here.
Unlike previous years, Colorado teams now very efficient at passing. 2nd and 10. In the end zone, incomplete for Henry again. Vaughn Bryant was right on top of him.
Well, Vaughn Bryant got away with one there. See, he didn't know the ball was coming. That was almost a touchdown. Turned his head at the very last second, and with his body blocked out the receiver. Watch this now. Vaughn Bryant, number 4, finally looks back right here just in time to tip it away. It was intended for Henry again. Henry had him beaten.
That sets up a 3rd and 10. The ball at the 22. 4:22 to play. Joseph throws it short for Rico Smith.
All right, it brings up another 4th down.
He had him wide open. No question here, they've got to go. The incomplete pass stopping the clock at 4:17. A big pass and catch by Michael Westbrook. He was leveled by Sayon Albert, but he got the first down. 12 yards.
Great hit by Albert, but this is a fantastic run by Westbrook. And I want you to watch the block he gets after he catches. Look, bang, right there. Just knock him out of the way. Great block by Dolan Johnson. And then here comes Albert. Boy, that's the way you do it. You just tuck your tail, put your head right under his chin, and put him on his back.
It's a first down. Warren to the outside. Touchdown, Colorado. Lamont Warren sniffing out that end zone. A gutty 10-yard run.
They're expecting the pass. They run the draw. The linebacker, Gibbs, misses the tackle. Then here comes number 4, Bryant. He can't hold on to him, and a great lunge forward for the touchdown. All that ball has to do is cross that plane.
So Jim Harper makes good on the conversion. It stands 28-21.
And Colorado is still very much alive now. Only down by 7. All their timeouts left, and still 3:47 left in the game. Great drive by Vance Joseph. Utilized that clock masterfully.
That drive was 12 plays for 56 yards. It took only 250 to move them down the field. But, Tim, that said a lot about the character of this Colorado team. They didn't fold up when their leader, Hagan, went out of the ball game.
No, that's because that guy right there stepped up. Number 1, Joseph. Keep in mind, that drive was successful because he converted 2 4th and longs.
Don't forget to check the back of your game ticket for a special offering from Burger King and Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Well, Vance Joseph was the #1 quarterback in spring drills for a while before Hagan came back from his knee injury.
Yeah, but he'd only thrown 10 passes coming into this ball game.
Washington, 56, Kansas State.
So he didn't really have much experience. He is a sophomore. He's only been sacked 1 time. You're not going to get to him very often. And right now on that drive alone, he was 3 for 830 yards, but 2 of them were for big first downs.
Well, if time allows us, after the ball game, we'll go back to our studios in New York for the Thrifty Car Rental post-game report with Roger Twybo.
It's very important here for Stanford to remember that they are, in fact, winning this ball game. They had all the momentum. That Willie Shaw theory was really working there, where they were. He says if you're leading late in a ball game and you're the underdog, you're going to win. But see, now with Colorado scoring that touchdown, kind of takes the winds out of their sail.
Ozzie Granardo is back for Stanford. He's had a very productive afternoon returning kicks. Mitch Berger will kick it off from the 35. A low driving kick that goes into the end zone. And Colorado will start at the 20-yard line.
Stanford on their own 20.
Pardon me, Stanford will start things at the 20-yard line.
All right, the offense and Joseph did their job. Now it's up to the Colorado defense to step up and stop Stanford. I mean, the Cardinal this afternoon, 447 yards. CU's defense has not been there. That guy right there said it'll take 27 points to win this game. Right now he's got 28.
Milburn and Vardell are the running backs. Vardell, the more sure-handed running back of the 2. And that's who it goes to. Vardell up over the 28-yard line before Chad Brown corralled him.
Hey, what if? Now, I know that old adage, if and buts, if they were candy and nuts, what a party we'd have. But what if Stanford had hit the 3 field goals they missed?
This would definitely be out of reach. Nonetheless, they lead by just a touchdown right now. The clock winding down. 3:15 to play. 2nd and 2. Vardell again. Out to the 32-yard line.
Vardell, the ball carrier, stuffed by Winslow, number 99. And that's good for 3 yards.
That's a first down for Colorado.
On their own 31.
Oh, what a day. You talk about a workhorse.
Tommy Vardell, 95 yards. He's also caught the ball well, too. He's caught the ball 4 times for 94 yards. 1st and 10. Stanford with 2 tight ends in the ball game. They go straight ahead again.
Okay, there's a major strategy change here now. Colorado has all 3 of its timeouts, but they wanted to use those offensively to come back and tie the game, or at least put themselves in position to either tie it or win it with a 2-point conversion. Right now, the defense has to start using timeouts. If they don't stop them here, they're going to have to use those timeouts defensively.
You know, we look at the success of Vardell. What about the strength of that offensive line? They played well this afternoon.
That offensive line just coming together. I told you it's a complicated offense. Stanford traditionally starts slowly. Now they're starting to come on.
Less than 2 minutes to go in the ball game. Vardell. Smashing his way up the middle.
I'll tell you this, Notre Dame better strap it on.
They're the next opponent in here for Stanford. 1 minute 50 and ticking.
Wardell has 24 carries for 106 yards.
Both Stanford running backs this afternoon have carried the ball for over 100 yards. A lot of the credit going to the offensive line. Wardell stopped up that time by Greg Beaker. Met him for no gain on the play.
You know, here it is. The game's getting away from Colorado. Actually, Stanford now is in complete control as long as they keep this running game going. But Beaker, the All-American, had 21 tackles against Baylor, leads the Big 8 in tackles, steps up and just makes the hit. Timeout Colorado. They'll have 2 left right after this with 1:22 left.
Some people think he's a Superman. But when a 44-year-old has to throw 75 fastballs, even Nolan Ryan's muscles can ache. So after the game, it's the medicine doctors recommend most for sprains and strains, Advil.
For me, it's a couple of Advil, and those muscle aches are long gone. And Advil's gentler on my stomach than aspirin.
Today, it isn't aspirin or Tylenol acetaminophen. It's Advil.
I feel ready to go another 9 innings.
Advil, tablets and caplets, advanced medicine for pain.
Of all the trucks in its class, only Chevy 4-door S10 Blazer gives you 4-wheel anti-lock brakes, standard, which helps you steer through a curve while braking. Without it, you don't have as much control. And why should that be important to you? Because in the real world, safety doesn't have to be an option. Chevy S10 Blazer.
The heartbeat of America. Today's truck is Chevrolet.
Well, Bill McCartney brought his young football team here to Stanford for their first road game of the season. They've made some mistakes that have cost them, but the thing that has cost them the most is the injury to quarterback Darian Hagan. He suffered a knee injury midway through the 4th quarter and has not returned since. He is through for the afternoon.
I hope that's all that he's through for. Rehabbed that leg so hard all through the offseason, came back sooner than they thought he would.
Look at the amount of rushing yardage piled up by Stanford this afternoon. Glenn Milburn with 107 of those yards and Tommy Vardell with 106. He'll be taking the offensive line out to dinner after this one. 2nd and 10. Vardell. And Colorado's defense burns a timeout. John Knudsen on the tackle.
That'll leave 1 timeout remaining.
There's a minute 17 to play. 4th quarter. We'll be back for the finish in just a minute.
What's new tonight?
I love you.
More than you can imagine.
What did you say?
What did you hear?
With the season premiere of Who's the Boss on its new night, then...
The Seavers would like to extend to you a formal invitation.
That's right. We're moving to Saturday nights.
Is that why we're dressed up in these monkey suits? Yeah, I can barely breathe in this thing.
You're supposed to take this out, bonehead.
Growing Pains, Saturdays on ABC, right after Who's the Boss. But come as you are.
Tonight, on the season premiere, is it freedom of the press?
You're lying about me. You know this ain't true.
Or are they framing Hickok?
That murderer don't deserve a trial.
And all-new Young Riders. Then, he's a loving husband and father, and the most unusual police commissioner a city's ever had.
Abso-freaking-lutely.
The premiere of The Commish. Following the season premiere of Young Riders tonight.
Well, Denny Green has to be pleased with the performance of his team this afternoon. He said that he felt they should be 1-1 coming into this game. They lost in a late rally in Arizona, while Coach Bill McCartney and his team will have to recoup and consider the loss of quarterback Darian Hagan. 3rd down and 7. Milburn, ball game. They convert on the 3rd down, and there's a flag on the play, a late flag. Eric Hamilton made the tackle.
This is a third down play. If Colorado stops them, they would still have at least 40 seconds by getting the ball back. But here's the late hit out of bounds by Eric Hamilton, the strong safety.
Out of bounds, 15 yards, first down.
That's a terrible mental error, but Hamilton knew the game was over with that first down, and he just took his shot.
That was a free one. But it will cost them 15 yards. Colorado with one timeout remaining, but they may not have to use it. May not matter.
No, see, you've got a minute and 11 left. What you want to do if you're Stanford is melt that play clock, 25-second play clock, all the way down as far as you can.
The ball is placed on the 28-yard line.
You want to limit the number of plays you run here now. You want to take down the possibility of turning the ball over. So you want to melt that clock, which is now down to 5.
And Vardell gets the handoff again. Inside the 25, down to the 23, where Chad Brown wraps him up. You know, Stanford's schedule has never been an easy one, and this year is no exception.
No, okay, Notre Dame wins today big, 45-20 over Purdue. Now they come out here, and I tell you, they better strap it on because this is a big, solid club that played well today.
Let's not forget that the Cardinal have already played Washington in their first game of the season.
Well, they ended the season strongly last year. After beating Notre Dame, they finished with 3 straight wins.
Colorado has a rematch with Missouri, a game in which turned out to be very controversial, to say the least, last year. They go to Oklahoma for a showdown in Norman.
Missouri had one today that was controversial. Ended up with, what, in a tie.
Well, Stanford's offense has piled up 490 total yards this afternoon.
Well, we said at the top of the telecast, Milburn and Vardell have to be the best 1-2 punch in the country. The problem is they haven't been able to get people behind them. They lack depth. But you won't find 2 better ones in the same backfield.
You'd only think that things could get better for Denny Green and the Stanford Cardinal team, because as they get healthy, they should improve.
When's the last time you saw an offense with 2 #1 draft picks in it? That's what's going to happen with Bob Whitfield, the left tackle. He'll definitely be a #1 pick in the NFL, and the same with Glenn Milburn.
Milburn told us just yesterday that, yes, the NFL is definitely in his future plans.
Yeah, but he'll finish school first.
1 minute to play. Vardell tackled by Steed. Well, this is going to be a long ride back to Boulder, Colorado this evening.
Major, major upset. Colorado came in heavily favored. That guy, Denny Green, said, yes, sir, we can beat him, but we've got to play almost flawlessly. Keep the ball in front of us defensively and work and mix things and control things offensively. He did all that.
And the crowd shows its appreciation.
That's
Vardell
it.
churning away.
They don't have to run another play. It's over.
So with their first game of their 100th year celebration of their anniversary, the Stanford Cardinal will win this one by a score of 28-21. The Chevrolet most valuable players of the game are Lamont Warren from Colorado, the running back, and Tommy Vardell from Stanford. Chevrolet will donate $1,000 to each school's general scholarship fund to reward outstanding students for their academic achievements and to assist those in financial needs. Warren and Vardell are Chevrolet MVPs.
Well, he said they needed 27 points to win. They got 28, and they upset Colorado. Guy's a prophet. There's another huge story right there. You've got to feel for Darian Hagan.
Oh, he went through an arduous rehabilitation, only to have an injury again to the same knee, in fact. We'll try and get an update on Hagan's injury. We'll go to Roger Twybill in New York and come back. Roger?
Well, thanks very much. An exciting finish in the Georgia Tech-Clemson game. Sisson with a field goal opportunity from 44 yards to give Tech the victory. But it goes wide to the right, and Clemson comes away with the victory 9-7. They move their record to 3-0 on the season.
Well, we're back in Stanford, California. 28-21 the final score. Let's go down to Martin with touchdown Tommy Vardell.
Tim, one tired touchdown Tommy Vardell. I know you went out with dehydration, but this got to be a pleasing win for you guys, the way that you won it.
Oh, it's great. You know, I don't understand why we knock off these big teams and then we lose to the lesser teams. But
well, you got another big one coming with Notre Dame next week.
We got another whole line of them coming on our schedule. So you know, if we keep up this kind of plan, I'm really excited.
Well, I know you got to be excited. 112 yards rushing for you, 106 for Glenn Milburn. Go get some rest, buddy. Okay. Thanks. Right. Touchdown Tommy Vardell, one of the heroes for Stanford this week. Back up to you guys, Tim and Mark.
Okay, Vardell moving into 6th place on the Stanford touchdown all-time list.
Major upset.
Well, a look at Darian Hagan on crutches there with an ice pack on his left knee.
Say, what does that do for the future of Colorado? Defending national champions have their #1 quarterback and main thrust of the offense out of there.
I guess, Tim, the bitter irony here is that it happened while he was quarterbacking and not, as some people feared, during a punt return. Stanford wins it 20.